Ventura needed a fucking party band, dude. Like at the time, I don't think we realized we needed it that bad because at the time everyone is so goddamn serious. You had Glass and Ashes. You know, you had my band is like gnarly as shit. There's a million bands going on.
Franklin for sure.
You know, you had the emo side, all that shit, and like no one realized that we needed just a straight party, dude.
So it was
you know what I mean? And it was amazing. Like when it came out,
it was super funny, dude.
I'm 41. I know.
Wow, you look so much better.
Black
than
don't crack, dude. Black don't crack.
Mom and Dad got down with the swirl.
I know. Black don't crack,
Permatan.
I know.
Hey,
He's
blacks hate me,
fucking-
whites hate me. That's why I got jokes.
That's what's up, dude.
Fucking, I go to the
so
beach.
much
I got
better
pretty
than
eyes
I
and a
know.
permatan.
I know.
Craig looks like he's.
But do you know what's fucked up?
I've been looking at him through hell.
I got the white half. Tiny dick, no rhythm.
Oh,
Fucked.
No rhythm.
God damn.
Fucked
that
over
sucks,
here. I'm
bro.
like,
yeah.
doing the Elaine over here.
Yep.
You're all green roll.
Shit.
Welcome to Get Heavy Podcast. With your host, Craig Casamas and Big J Curran.
I asked him, I was like, bro, about a year ago, I was like, dude, do you think I could come here in the off season if I just want to, you know, do whatever? And he's like, yeah. And then we just been like a 4-month process of like going back and forth because it's a nonprofit organization. So it's like everybody from top to bottom has to like agree to it.
Right,
so
right.
Ooh, that's.
yay for me. May 7th should be my first day.
Oh wow.
Like I'm done with Trader Joe's on the 22nd of this month, and then go
shit.
to the bowl on the 7th. So
Wow.
that's kind of cool. But also too, like, I'm a realist, bro. It's like it's like when you get a new house or a new apartment. I don't really believe it's mine until I get the keys.
man.
I walk in the door.
Yeah.
I spend the night.
Don't
So-
believe it till it's real, dude. Yeah.
So on May 7th, I'm gonna show up. And then a few weeks after that, I get a paycheck, and I keep showing up.
There
Then
you
it's
go.
gonna be
Then
real.
it'll be
Yeah.
real. Yeah.
So it's not like I'm paranoid, but like everything's kind of a trip these days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's always been that way. I'm the exact same way. I Portia will plan vacations and she would do stuff, or my lady honey, she does stuff and they'll plan stuff, and I have absolutely zero emotion in it. None, nothing.
Yes.
Like, aren't you excited? I'm excited, and I am.
Totally.
But until we are planted,
right.
then, and I don't even care. I'll be on my way to the airport drinking and like getting ready to have a good time, but we're not there yet.
Exactly.
And until I am, Honey and I went not too long ago. We were going to go to Nashville. Got to the airport, canceled our flights.
Yeah.
Everything got screwed up, like just the whole thing.
Totally.
She's waiting for me to blow up. And I
Yep.
just am all like, well, shit. Hey, hold
Fuck
on.
it.
There's a tiki bar mile and a half away. There's a barbecue joint just around the corner from that, because I don't get excited until, like you said, until I put my head down and I know that I'm not getting excited. It's just going to be a disappointment. No matter what I do,
Totally,
it's just
dude.
going to
Yeah.
be a disappointment.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be disappointed.
No, not at all, dude. I'm the same way, man. I had a situation like that a couple years ago. A guy wanted me to drive a truck back from Cleveland, Ohio, and he sent me the wrong date for the flight. So, anyways, I was with my ex at the time. You know, we end up going down to LAX. I'm like, I look at the date when we're at LAX. I'm like, oh fuck, the flight's tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. She's like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna get a hotel down the fucking street and come here tomorrow. And that's exactly what we did. We had a good time. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because it's not really real until it's real.
Until it's
Yep.
there. Yeah.
You know, and that's where I'm at with it. So I'm right now I'm 99% sure everything's gonna be smooth.
Right.
But
I don't until I get that paycheck in my hand, dude. I'm like,
Yeah.
right? Because then you know it's real.
It's such a weird thought because so many people get overly excited about everything, right? And
Totally.
they're constantly disappointed.
Totally.
Something about maybe, and I don't know at all how you grew up. I don't know your history. You
Yeah.
grew up in Ventura, Oxnard? Where were you?
Yeah, we can get into the Phil history.
Yeah,
so,
we'll get into it. But it's something about when you grow up being constantly disappointed by life.
Yeah.
Yes.
You fucking develop this like toughness where you're like, until those things you're saying, till my head's on the fucking pillow, till I get that check in my hand, nothing's fucking
Until
real.
I
Right?
walk into the fucking
Right.
gate. I could be in the parking lot. I could be all the way until
Yes.
I walk through the gate to get into Disneyland. there's no Mickey.
Right.
They take
There's
that
no
dumb
Mickey.
picture. They
'Cause
take
the
that
last-
stupid
dude,
picture of you.
Yeah, because the last time I went to Disneyland, dude, the guy fucking pulled my tin of gummies out. I thought I was going to get arrested. Luckily, they let me slide.
Nice.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, they
And-
want people to be high. I mean, at Disneyland, right? I mean,
Dude,
how
you know,
could
I went through the
fucking-
first security guard, and he was like, "Oh yeah, what's this?" I'm like, "Oh, it's candy." And then the second guy was younger, and he was like, "No, bro." I was like, "Later, bye. Take my knife, take my fucking gummies. I'll be back. I already ate 3, so I'm good."
Yeah.
Because if we've been to Disneyland, we know.
He took gummies.
I had a tin of gummies in my pocket, but they set off the metal detector.
Oh,
Yeah.
He also had a
right.
knife. He
Yeah,
glossed
yeah.
right over
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
The
So-
fact that he brought a knife into Disneyland.
Yeah.
I have a knife on me.
Me too, but,
all
you know,
I do a
Think
pat
about
down,
it.
and I did it
Yeah.
the other night. I get out of the car and we're going to go do something, and I pat all my pockets,
you're
back pockets. I'm checking
Knife,
my neck.
phone,
Yeah.
keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, for me, it's fuck the keys. Knife, phone, wallet.
Yeah.
Those 3 things.
Yeah.
If I have those 3
And
things, I can do anything.
And my wallet's a weapon,
Yes.
and I have 3 knives on me.
He's like, here, I'm tired. Grab one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've taken my wallet on the plane, and it's got a little card in there. You move the card forward, and it becomes
Knuckles.
brass knuckles,
Nice,
man.
dude.
And they're sharp. They're
Surprised they
dangerous,
let it
man,
through.
but I've
Yeah.
been traveled
Oh,
to Spain with it.
Well, that's
Didn't
what's
have a
cool
problem.
about living in the modern times is like, you know, everybody's so dumb that, well, number one, everyone's so dumb
Right.
that
Yeah.
works at those places. And we are in the future where there's these companies in China that make all this rad shit that you can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a
Hoping you
credit.
stab
It's
somebody
a,
on the
it's a
plane.
credit card. It's a fake credit card that looks like a knife. Nobody
Yeah.
gives a shit.
Yeah.
Some asshole TSA guy looking at it was like, oh yeah, it's a credit card.
Yeah, the carbon fiber knives and stuff that they have
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no.
You fucking hijack a plane with some Temu shit.
Yeah.
This fucking hijacking sponsored by Temu.
Facts, dude. Facts.
That's amazing.
I mean, you'd be
We
hard
just got
pressed.
shadow banned.
Well, I do want to get into. We're really excited to have you on, by the way.
Yes.
I,
Yeah, no, dude,
obviously,
I'm stoked
been
to be here.
I've been a big
I'm so
fan
stoked.
of you, and Shim Come Quick was fucking amazing back in the day. If you guys don't know, he's the front man for a band called Shim Come Quick. That was around 20 years ago, 20 plus years.
03, dude, is when it
03-ish,
came
yeah.
together, dude.
So I was doing
Yeah.
a band called The Fucking Wrath. He was in Shim Come Quick, and they were the quintessential fucking party animals, dude. I mean, the music was party, the vibe was party. It was awesome. You know,
Like a
what I mean?
45-minute explosion.
It
That's
was.
what I
It
tell
was
people.
amazing, dude.
I go, you might not like the music, but if you show up to
You're
the show,
gonna have a good time.
you're going to be stoked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to be like, whoa, this
Yeah.
is awesome.
But I don't know anything about your history. So
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Like, are you from Ventura? What's the deal?
So I
Give
get a
us
lot.
the
I
Phil- the Phil
get a lot
fucking
of shit
rundown.
about this, especially from my guitar player Joey, because I grew up my teen years in Ventura. That's
Okay.
where I did all the crazy shit.
Right.
So I always say I'm from Ventura because
Sure.
I spent a lot of time on Ventura Avenue, doing a lot of fucking fucked up shit. You know, because it was that era. But I was born in Santa Barbara, '77.
Okay.
Mom and dad met on the beach. 9 months later, I was born.
Nice.
They just celebrated 47 years.
That's
Wow,
amazing.
that's really cool.
So they kind of set the bar high without knowing it. But so born in 77, mom and dad were in Santa Barbara from 77 to 80. And then from 80 to 87, I was in Carpinteria.
Oh, okay.
Carp kid.
Yeah.
Did my first Ollie at a elementary school, Aliso School
Hell
in
yeah,
Carpinteria. There's a painting of a lion in front,
Yep.
dude.
Yep.
And I was fucking hooked. So I was like, I'm going to be a carp kid, you know. I'm going to play
not a bad
football for
thing.
the Carpinteria Warriors, this, that, and the other. Mom and dad had my brother. We started getting older. We were in a, those McKeon condos, like the Blue Ghetto, those types
Yeah.
of places.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They have a section of those in Carp. They call it Legoland. And, two big boys aren't going to do well in a two-bedroom condo. So they ended
The
up
walls are getting hit, dude.
yeah, so they ended up buying a house in Oakview.
Okay.
So
Oh shit.
yeah, so I grew up in Oakview back in the fucking Porto Nazi days,
Yeah.
dude. Like
Yeah,
I had to
yeah.
fucking put in some work as a young kid back there with that. But anyways, so lived in Oakview, but because back then Oakview was ghetto, it wasn't as fucking.
Yeah, it wasn't
It's
hoity-toity
still
like it is.
not necessarily. You
Yeah.
still get so you could drive around there and feel
You can
the vibe.
find some cutty spots, but
Yeah.
dude, it's
It's nothing
definitely
like it
different.
was.
Yeah,
It's nothing
I
like
agree.
it was.
and I'll say nothing around
Yeah.
anywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
even in Oxnard. I mean, you can go to some fucked up neighborhoods in
Right.
Oxnard and still drive through and not get shot or
Right.
have beer cans thrown at you because
Yeah.
all the gang injunction shit. Anyways, so 77 to 80 SB, 80 to 87 Carp, 87 till about 94. No, I'd say 96 is when I took off to Ventura. But because Oakview was the poor place, like I was saying earlier, they didn't want those kids to go to Ojai.
Right.
Because Ojai was always been hoity-toity. So all the Oakview kids had to go to Ventura. And Ventura kids would talk shit like, oh, you're white trash, you're from Oakview, this, that, and the other. So you got it from both ends.
Right.
But the beauty is now that I'm older is that you did get to go with both sides. So
Right.
You're a high school kid, you want to go party in Ojai, oh, you're in Oakview, you're right there. You're a high school kid, you want to go party in Ventura, you go to school in Ventura,
Right
you know
there.
everybody. Yeah. So it was pretty rad.
Yeah.
So that was that. And then from, I think I moved out like 96.
So but your family's like your mom and dad, pretty working class.
Working
regular
class.
folks.
Totally, dude. Totally. Yeah. Down with the swirl. White mom, black dad. You know, had that going. It's a blessing and a curse. I got a permatan.
Yep.
But I talk white, so black people are like, what the fuck? And then I look how I look, and the white dude's like, fuck you, So
whoa.
that's why I'm such a bullshitter,
Yeah.
because I like to make sure I can get along with everybody. But
Right.
now it's a blessing,
Right.
Because there's not a room I can walk into where I'm unable to talk to someone.
100%.
Yeah.
From fucking the president down to the fucking dude that's, needle in his arm in the gutter. We're
Right.
all on the same page,
Right.
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So yeah, mom and dad, dude. My dad was, he was kind of gnarly. I mean, he had a family, same thing, same mom, dad, everything. But he was just a crazy motherfucker because his dad was, And my dad didn't. What was it? He always told me, he's like, I'm always going to tell you everything, which was a
Blessing.
kind of a blessing and a curse as well. Because as a kid, I was like, I got to outdo this motherfucker, which I tried, but I never stabbed anybody. He sliced up a dude when he was younger. I never went that far.
No.
I never even began to remotely try to think about outdoing my dad in any of the debauchery that fucking guy did, man. My dad was an absolute lunatic. You know, he was just a little Irish white trash, poor. And he was born with a club foot.
Oh,
And
damn.
so we were all hanging out up in Washington in this city called Tokeland, and I'd never been around my dad's friends, and they started just telling me all these crazy stories about him. And one of them was like, he was the meanest crippled I've ever met in my life.
Kind of gotta be, dude.
Yeah.
Being a crippled.
Well, back then,
he
dude,
was
because if you
gnarly.
had one thing wrong, even in our era, if you had one thing wrong with you, dude, you got wrecked.
Well, dude. It was
there
we
was
had
no
a fucking
inclusivity.
friend named Joe. Had one arm, and his name was Destin.
Yeah.
Because we called him the Stump.
Right.
And that was his whole identity. It's like this poor kid,
But he
just
owned
out
it.
here
You
living,
own
dude.
it. You fucking own
Well,
it.
yeah, well,
and
back
he
then
owned
it's
it.
not-
Yeah.
yeah.
And he'd
Everybody-
whip your ass at Mortal Kombat with his fucking elbow.
Yeah.
Like, all right, this is
Exactly.
getting nuts,
Exactly.
you know?
Everybody had their lane, right?
Yeah.
Everybody fell into
Yeah.
their lane, dude. If you landed on your head riding a BMX bike, guess what?
Right.
You're reading books.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If you sucked at books, you're out there doing
Yeah.
crazy shit, swinging from trees.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, dude. I know it's funny. There's a few Oakview dudes that they are like, dude, your dad was the gnarliest motherfucker. Because my dad was black as night, which
Right.
terrifies white folks.
Yeah.
And then he was crazy as fuck too. So they thought he was like 6'10". My
Right.
dad's
Yeah.
fucking 5'7", 5'8".
Oh, really? Okay.
I was taller than him when I was like in 7th grade.
right.
And along with the white trash thing in Oakview, so that people understand, and if you don't know and you're listening to this, Oakview was like really dirty biker,
Oh,
ex-military
Yeah.
people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I met some dudes up there when I was young that were a little bit older, and they were just
yeah.
Oh, dude, my buddy's
Gnarly,
dad. My buddy's
gnarly
dad.
dudes,
Like
man.
he'd be like, we're going to the beach. This is probably like 90, 89, 90. It was a neighbor, and parents back then like, hey, go to the friend's
Yeah.
house and come back when it's dark. We jump in the back of his truck. He'd drive his 4x down the river bottom from Oakview
Yeah.
to
Through
C
the river
Street.
bottom. Yeah.
Hang out and be like, go play.
Yeah.
Drink beers in the truck. Hang out with his wife.
Yeah.
And then be like, get in. And we drive back up
Wow.
through the river bottom.
Yeah.
And that's probably the last of that
Yeah,
era. But
literally, you might have
because
been the last person.
we used to
ever
go
do
around
that.
there, dude, with like 22s and BB guns and just shoot shit and fucking,
Yeah.
dirt bikes. Like, no big deal. There's down by the bike trail, there was a spot called Trash Hill.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure, dude, if you take a
It's
dirt bike down there,
legendary,
they're going
yeah.
to fucking
Yeah.
send up a chopper and like 80 sheriffs are going to show
Yeah.
up.
Totally.
So they're kind of like the
now
fun.
all
They're kind of like the
oil
fun
field.
police now, which is whatever, like
It's a bummer. Dude.
everybody's got a job. I'm not gonna get too far into that.
Yeah.
But so Phil history, Santa Barbara, Carpinteria, Oakview, Ventura, and then in like I was saying earlier, in 2012, I was going through some things, and I took off to Santa Barbara.
Oh, okay.
Went
And-
back.
Say what?
Yeah.
Went back up there.
Technically went back home as it could be. And I got to tell you, 20 minutes up the road, man, it was really nice to be able to like just go out and about, lick my wounds a little bit and not have to see everybody and have to tell this fucking story.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was kind of nice. And then I started realizing, because growing up in Ventura, you're like, everybody from Santa Barbara's a pussy.
Right.
Well, yeah, there's so much pussy up there. You know what I mean? There's a fucking Ventura.
It is a totally different culture.
Dude,
up there.
it's
crazy,
insane,
yeah.
right? And I get it why, because there's so much pussy. It's easy to be a pussy because it's like, dude, everybody's getting some action. In Ventura, when I was a kid, there's one hot chick showed up and either waited your turn or didn't get any. You know, like a Ventura 10 is a Santa Barbara 5. You know, so it's like I began to understand all that, and then I was coming back and forth to Ventura a lot back then, and then just kind of eased into the Santa Barbara life. And, you know, at that time, you know, I'm getting older. I think I was like in my early 30s. I was about 33, 34 around that time. And I was going through some things. And I was like, oh, fuck, man, this is life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's one fucking fucked up situation after the next. Just get comfy with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was one point I was living in the back of my truck. It was raining. I got a little leak. I was reading a book, and I was like, fuck. Age 34, living in your fucking truck.
Dude,
It's raining.
yeah.
And I'm not going to call it an epiphany. I just had this, like, you know, moment where I was like, thank God my fucking dad was so gnarly. Because he built me the resilience to just snap back from anything.
Right.
I remember I called my parents. I was like, dude, thank you so much for what you did. It was rough, but thank you, you know, and been doing the same thing ever since. You know, I haven't, excuse me, haven't gotten in too much trouble since I've been up there, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And it's been kind of nice to use Santa Barbara as a place to kind of like
Rebuild.
Totally.
Yeah, totally.
Totally. You know?
Yeah, I mean, because you think back to the Shim Come Quick days, dude, and it was like,
oh, bro.
I'm not saying I didn't know you that well, but
Totally.
you were always a good time. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
never caught you for a fucking problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was where the fuck? Obviously, growing up in a wild childhood, like, makes you a wild person. But
Totally.
you absolutely went the extra mile, like 90% of the time. What was your, like, obviously punk rock, metal, whatever it is you're into? Like,
I'm into everything.
you're into everything,
dude.
but
everything.
When Shim Come Quick came, it was like Ventura needed a fucking party band, dude. Like, at the time, I don't think we realized we needed it that bad because at the time everyone is so goddamn serious. You had Glass and Ashes. You know, you had my band is like gnarly as shit. There's a million bands going on.
Franklin for sure.
You know, you had the emo side, all that shit. And like, no one realized that we needed just a straight party, dude.
So it was
You know what I mean? And it was
your age
amazing,
bracket.
like, when it came out.
It
you
was
know?
super funny, dude, because I was living with my buddy, and what was it? We all had to move out somewhere, right?
Right.
And then Joey and Shane, the guitar players, were like, oh, dude, guess what? We just got a place, dude. There's like a little fucking washroom in the back, like a fucking water heater room.
Right.
They're like, you pay us like $100 a month, dude.
You can
It's
live
all
there.
good. I was like, fuck yeah.
That's awesome.
And that ended up being the Shim house. But actually, before that, the way Shim started was, you know, we were in our early 20s. People come back from college for the wintertime,
Totally,
whatever. So Joey, Shane, Asa, Mugger, they kind of had an apartment together. And they were kind of like jamming out. And Mugger, the drummer, had a practice room where he would just wail on his drums. And Joey went in there. They started playing guitars, this, that, and the other. And then they had this little art show at this house they were at. And they, like, you know, played their music. And then they were like, dude, you got to come to the studio. They're like, you got to come to the studio, dude, and sing. I was like, fucking bullshit.
Have you ever been in a band?
Fuck no.
Never?
Fuck no.
For that being your first band?
Never
man,
even
it's pretty
thought about it,
amazing,
dude. And It's
yeah.
so funny, dude, because,
pretty
like,
amazing.
I'll never forget this because I was, you know, I was fucking nervous. I was like, okay, whatever.
course,
I
yeah.
used to just drink beer and just talk shit, fucking try to punch holes in things. Just a fucking
Right.
typical dipshit, dude. And what's it called, dude? They were like, dude, come to the practice room, dude. I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. I'll go to your fucking practice room. We go in there. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. We're hanging out. And then we smoked some weed. And I remember, like, I'm a lightweight with the weed. I'm a big dude, but I'm lightweight with the weed, dude.
Yeah.
That shit fucking hits me hard. So I took a couple hits off the joint, dude. And they start playing this slow song. And they're like, dude, just say something. I'm just like fucking nervous as shit, dude.
Dude, that's crazy, man.
I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm like, really? Because these are my buddies. And like, dude, we're known for just you fuck something up, dude, you're getting ripped to
Hammered.
shreds.
Right.
Like your heart's getting ripped out, stomped out, burned, all of it. And I'm just like,
You're gonna hear about it for
I'm like
weeks.
this. I'm like, Shim, come quick, 'cause your dinner's cold. Your catfish sandwich is 8 days old. And I'm fucking tripping. Because at the time we were talking about catfish for some reason, dude. I forget what it was, dude. But like, it was just like our era.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know what to say, and they stopped, and I was like, oh boy, here it comes. And they're like, dude, that's rad. I'm like, I'm baked. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these dudes? What are they on?
What is Shim? What's Shim come? I don't know the name.
Okay, so
Enlighten me,
so
please.
Shim,
Okay.
Shim Vegas excursion one time. Anyways, Shim, I used to work for a window and door company forever. And you need shims to put doors in, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a movie, Half Baked.
Yeah.
Right? So at one point in Half Baked, there's a part where Dave Chappelle's like, Sheila, come quick, Mama fell. And he's like, shut up, bitch.
Yeah,
So we used to say that all the time. But at work, I would be like, shit. A guy would be on a ladder, like holding a window, like, Shim, come quick. And like somebody would grab you a shit.
Grab you a Shim and throw it in there.
So Shim, come quick,
There
because
you
your
go,
dinner's
man.
cold. That's how the fucking.
That's how it all started,
That's how it
huh?
all started, dude.
Amazing, dude.
Shim, come quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's totally how that started, dude.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that was all like within like a random like fucking. And these guys can correct me in comments, whatever. But like the way I remember it is, we did the Shim come. They brought me in there the first time,
Right.
And they're like, that was rad. We went outside, we drank some beer, smoked cigarettes. I'm like, it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And we lived in the Shim house,
Right.
and then we did it. I think probably we went in there and like started like just fucking around, and I got comfortable.
Right.
So they would just start rocking out, and I just blah, 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 just make shit up.
Right.
And they're like, this is fucking rad.
That's cool.
So we would do it like, we did it like, fuck, dude, like maybe 7 times within like, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, not in a row, but like, oh yeah, we got time. Let's go do that again. That was fun. Because we like go over there, have fun, rock out, and then go back to the house and just smash beers. Because like the Shim house was right next to the railroad tracks on Ocean. So it was just, like I was 24, 25 at the time. And everybody's roughly about that same age. I'm a little bit older. I'm like a year or two older than those guys. But so one day we walk out of practice, and Shane's like, dude, we're kind of like a band. I was like, well, fuck that, dude, whatever. And he's like, dude, we should play a show. And at that time in Ventura, rest in peace to Jim Wright, the homie.
Right, yeah.
Sansucci, I want to make sure, give him his props, man, because that dude was like a surrogate father to a lot of us.
Right.
A lot.
Right.
A lot of us, dude. So I want to make sure him and his family and his son Phil get that credit, because at that time there was a place called The Drink. It was at the edge of town by Patagonia over there. It's called Beach Club, whatever the fuck it's called now. Yeah. And when you're young and partying, all the bartenders, everybody. So I was like, oh yeah, I told Chance, I'll get us a fucking show. So I went to, and rest in peace to Corey Womack, really good friend of mine. Yeah. She was bartender at the Sewer, and I was like, dude, we want to play a show here, dude. Fucking Corey, hook it up. She's like, dude, I think Phil will let you guys do it at The Drink. Hit him up. He's like, yeah, dude, play this night. I was like, oh, sick.
Nice.
Radical. So I felt, I was like, oh, yeah, guys, I'll get a show, no problem.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I'm like, it's going to be awesome. Who the fuck wants to go to The Drink, that shit box at the edge of town? I'm like, we're going to go basically have band practice outside. So we set a date. We tell our friends. I'm like, cool, rad, no big deal. Fucking show up, dude. There's like 80 people.
Yeah.
Shitting bricks, dude.
Yeah, you're all, no.
I'm like, what the fuck are
It
you
just
guys
became
doing
real.
here?
It became real. Yeah. Like.
And in hindsight, I think it's because like people were like, Phil, Asa, Joey, Ryan Klein,
Right.
and Shane. Like,
Yeah,
why the fuck?
what the
They
fuck?
were like, the fact that they would even hang out is
Wild.
funny.
Yeah. Because I've
But they
known Mugger
fucking-
since we were 13 years old.
Exactly, dude.
It's trippy.
Exactly.
We went to church together. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Okay, so
I knew him in a completely different capacity. And when you guys came out, I was like, what the fuck? And now his name's Mugger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
like, what? Wait, what? Like, what the fuck happened here? Because of Missing 23rd shit. and all that,
Totally,
you know what I
dude,
mean? I was
totally.
like, what is going? This is the most random group of people.
And
But
it
it perfectly worked.
and it
dude.
still is,
You know what I
dude.
mean?
So I remember walking in there, dude, and I was just like, holy fuck. I was like talking to Joey. I was like, what the fuck do we do, bro? Like, this is fucking. He's like, I'm like, we got to do it.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was drinking way more, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
So we went down there, show up. We just start playing, dude.
Yeah.
We just play our fucking 4 songs, trying to stretch them out.
Right.
And people in the crowd are like, "Oh fuck yeah, dude!" I'm making up the lyrics on the spot.
Right.
I made up Shim lyrics for the first like probably 15, 20 shows.
Really?
Before
Didn't
they were
write a
like,
thing down?
before they were like, "Dude, you got to write something down because we want to make a CD." I was just like, oh,
That's
"I'm gonna
amazing.
get drunk and just talk this shit."
Yeah.
Right. It's facts.
I've always thought that if I was to ever like do that in a band, that's the only way I could do it because I can't.
You want one?
I can't remember.
I'm down. I'm here.
Any
Let's do it.
fucking lyrics to nothing, but I can make up some really
Off the
fucking good
fly.
shit, dude.
Yeah,
You
I know you can, dude.
But I cannot remember.
Why,
I
thank
mean,
you.
fucking AC/DC is one of my favorite all-time bands, and I can't I can't remember shit.
I put a Zin in that one.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, no worries. That's all
I don't want
good.
that one.
You just soak the zin in there before you take
Apparently
the
so,
shot.
It doesn't. All right, gentlemen.
We got a new thing going. That'll be in all the
get that
bars
fucking
next
out of
week.
Well, you know what? Fuck it. Shoot it.
Yeah.
Shoot it down, dude. Hey, here's-
Shoot it. Shoot it.
Some crazy kid at my work
Tequila Zins.
told me something funny. Hold on. There was that Deltopia party last weekend, and it was some IV fucking kid shit. But I work with a bunch of kids. And this one girl, she's a favorite of mine because she's crazy. She goes, "My motto is this: black out or back out." I was like, I was
damn.
like, that's my girl.
Father,
Good job.
Son, Holy Spirit, dude.
I was like, dude, thank you. I'm like, did you make that up? She's like, I think I did. I'm like,
Maybe.
I'm
Who
using it.
Close enough.
I'm using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So, we play the fucking drink show, dude, and like afterwards, Nels, shout out to Nels,
Yeah.
Yes.
beautiful human, love that dude.
I
Me
love
too.
Him, yeah.
He's like, bro, that was sick. And then there was a couple of other people that were like, dude, that's fucking badass. And I'm still just like, are you fucking joking? In my head, I'm like, thanks, bro. I'm smashed. You know, we're doing unmentionables. We're kids. You
Right,
know?
yeah,
We're,
right.
we're turned all the way up, right?
To 11.
Dude, facts, big facts, dude. And I'm just like tripping. Like,
Yeah.
almost everybody liked it. I was like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
And then at that time, in 03, okay, to get back to what we were talking about before, there was this really weird punk resurgence in 03. Because I noticed a lot of the younger kids were wearing Misfits shirts and skinny pants and shit. And I was like, because I'm from the old school, like, oh, you get your ass kicked if you wear that.
Totally.
And it was becoming a style. And I'm not going to say that I'm the guy that's like, oh, you're wearing an Iron Maiden shirt, name 3 songs. But that's what it felt like to me when I see these little kids doing that shit, not getting their asses kicked or getting chased down.
Right. Remember the posers?
Yeah,
right
I was
after
like,
the
these
poser
posers.
days. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then all these guitar fucking magazines came out, and it was just like the timing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they had opened up a bunch of all ages places in Ventura at the time.
Yeah.
Cafe Voltaire or whatever it was
Yeah.
at that point.
Oh, yeah.
It was called something, dude. That's where we played with fucking, Shimer and those dudes.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So,
Voltaire was in the hallway, right?
yeah, like, it was called Tooties over there on fucking, on Palm,
yeah.
where the,
Fuck,
where
I
the
forgot about that place.
right, dude?
Yeah. There's been so many random spots. Like,
Dude,
like
seriously.
Zoe, like
Cafe Zoe.
or
Zoe's Cafe, whatever.
no,
it is.
that yoga studio, Zon Yoga Studio,
Yeah.
was like an all ages spot for a long
Right,
time. Dude. It's
right,
trippy,
dude. There was a
And
fucking,
you had Skate Street, and you had all the.
but there was a fucking coffee shop over there by the mall, by the bus stop that had a fucking. We played a fucking fucked up show.
Yeah.
there, dude. So we would just play shows, man.
Yeah.
And it was fucking. So, anyways, at that time, there was like a random punk resurgence, dude, and it just fucking. We just happened to be lucky enough to be in it.
Yeah.
So we would just play shows all the time, and then
Yeah.
you remember the fucking Wells House?
Oh, buddy, do I? Yeah.
How could we forget?
How could we forget?
And
the
we're
Wells
trying
House?
to for the rest of our
Yeah,
lives, right?
It was incredible.
Yeah, that place
I don't.
was-
So our friends moved into a legit mansion farmhouse off Wells. This what was that girl's Becky? Yeah, Becky. Her family owned it, and it was the fucking spot, dude. Like there was, 200, 300 person parties there. It was pure fucking chaos the whole time.
Lawless, because it was private
lawless
property
shit.
and it was set back, so you could tell the cops to fuck off.
Yeah, it was nuts, dude. The cops would show up on a Halloween show, and there would be like Guns N' Roses would be playing.
Right.
Fucking Annihilation Time played there one year,
Right,
dude.
right.
And there would be 300 people on the property, and they'd be going "fuck you" to the cops, and the cops were like, we can't do shit. They finally came in one day, and they were chasing people around on a Halloween show, and my friend was dressed like he was a pink taco.
Yeah, I
He was
remember
like
that.
a giant vagina, and then
I
my other
remember
friend was
that.
dressed as a giant dick, and they were holding hands. There's a picture of them running from the cops, holding hands, dude. It was pure fucking chaos at that house.
Pre-iPhone.
Both the Johns lived there.
Yeah.
Did you live there? No,
No, Shane lived there.
Shane lived there. That's
Shane
right.
lived there, dude.
It was
Yeah.
bananas for
It was
about
fuck-
2 years, 3 years, maybe.
Yeah, it was about 2.5 years, and then I
Finally,
think,
the city was like, "You're out." Like they booted the fuck out of us. Out of
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah. I heard some rumors, but who
Yeah,
knows what's
who
true?
knows?
I've
Who
never heard
knows?
it from the source. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So yeah, man, it's
It was chaos over there.
so that was about that time.
Yeah.
Right. So like there was this punk resurgence. All these fucking your band. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? A lot of those bands just popped up, and you know here we are today. Like now it's fucking new old school. I guess that's,
Totally,
That's
dude.
kind of what I call it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I
well, and
guess.
so you guys put out. Did you put out like a CD or something? Nothing, right?
No,
Back in
dude,
the
we
day?
had so we had Armand fucking make a CD for us, and like, dude, we didn't really sell them, dude. It's like-
Yeah, of course, dude. Yeah.
we just wanted a CD for ourselves, just like
Yeah.
I did with this fucking vinyl record. I
Uh-huh.
was like, dude, take my money,
Yeah.
give me my own vinyl record. I'll pay whatever you want for just
Yeah.
one.
That's a big deal, man, to get a record. I don't because
Bro,
for me as a kid, like when I started playing music, my only goal, I had very little goals. Be able to tour the United States, put out vinyl records,
Yes.
and have a good fucking time.
Exactly.
That was my goal.
That's it.
And I was lucky
That's
enough to
it.
put out multiple albums on vinyl and do the thing.
so sick.
You know what I mean? But to get that record, so you guys just recently played. It was a few months ago now. You
Yeah,
know
it
what I
was,
mean?
it
You
was
did
kinda-
like
it
how
was-
many years reunion was it? Like how many years
So-
since you've played? 10
So
plus?
actually, you know what happened? I think the last show we played when we were kind of like, hey, you know, people are getting married and shit. You know, like you're adults, you got to get jobs, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you got to like
Yeah.
pay bills.
Yeah.
You know. The last kind of show we played was I think it was Billy's, and then we did play like 2 or 3 songs for the shutdown of Billy's.
Oh yeah, yeah. We played the night before at Take Two. Remember when they
yeah,
shut down?
yeah, yeah.
And we got through. The Wrath played 2.5 songs, and the place was completely ripped apart.
yeah,
Fucking shredded, dude.
I love it.
It was amazing. Like
love it.
everyone all night was like, "We're gonna tear this place apart," right? Because they were closing down forever, right?
Right.
And I was like, "Look, dude, I'm playing. Like, you guys do whatever you want." And as soon as we started, fucking Dr. Nick punches through this roof,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yanks the track down, and it goes full WWF, dude.
You
Like
gotta
people
set
are
it
hitting
off.
each other with tiles, bottles are flying into the bar.
Where was it at?
At Take, it was what was it? It was the American Legion. And then it was Mize for a minute. It was Mize Cafe,
yeah.
right next to Billy's.
The American
So they were going to
Legion,
bulldoze the whole
fuck.
building, right?
That's an era in itself,
Dude, the
It was
Billy's
Mize.
era was nuts, dude. That whole
my
era.
God.
Yeah,
But
it was amazing.
we
It
got
was
through
so much fucking fun.
2.5 songs, and Titus fucking pulled the plug on us. He's
Yeah.
like, this is nuts. If you guys play a full set, this bar is going to be on fire. You
Right.
know what I mean? And
Totally.
it would have been on fire.
which would have been awesome.
It would have been awesome, yeah. But someone would have died. I watched Dr. Nick break tiles over my sister's head.
Yeah, yeah, dude. That's old school
was
Ventura shit,
insane.
though,
I
dude.
know, it was amazing.
Like that's old school
God, it
Ventura
was
shit.
so
I love
incredible,
it. I
dude.
love it, dude. I
Yeah.
fucking love
the
it.
Wrath had the luxury of destroying a handful of places.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's on my bucket list of things that I've achieved in my life. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
where the venue got nervous and was like, you guys have to stop playing.
Yeah, stop.
You guys
Because
can't do
that means that you're kicking that much ass.
it. Dude,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
That was mine.
But you
right?
guys, like I said,
Yeah.
you guys provided this party that because Ventura took itself so goddamn serious, and there's some incredible musicians, incredible bands. I'll
story.
argue that people in Ventura County are
story.
some of the most talented musicians on planet
Oh
Earth.
yeah.
Bands that came out of here are incredible, whether they got the notoriety or not. But you guys provided this fucking pure fun party that and you put out 150% every time you performed. You know what I mean? You're in
Till
the
the day
vest.
I die,
you're rolling
buddy.
around. Even at your reunion, the Christmas tree got destroyed. Right? I mean, it's like all of a sudden shit's flying through the air. I was like, "This is what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
This is what we fucking need right now."
Exactly,
You know?
dude.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Exactly, man. Like, yeah, dude. Fucking. I'll say this. It was fucking rad,
Yeah.
and it's even more rad that people like it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again,
Yeah.
like even that because Little Matt.
Yeah.
What was it? We have a okay. Let me start over. There's a Shim group text, right?
Right.
There's some fucking bullshit on there every now and then. And then about 6-7 months ago, I see like, oh yeah, Mugger's like, oh, I can make it down for the 23rd, play that show. And then I see Shane like, oh yeah, you know, it's gonna be rad. I'm like, what the fuck? And I had just been,
Didn't even know
who the
about it.
fuck told me about this shit, dude? So, because you know, I don't know if they know who I think I am. I think I'm the man. Apparently not. So,
Yeah, that's good friends.
yeah. So, Hoover, the fucking record dude who made my vinyl, I called him. I was like, hey, dude, you fucking book a show behind my back, bro? What the fuck? He's like, no, dude, I didn't do none of that. I'm like, okay, cool. So then I do some minor digging. I find out little Matt's like, oh, you know, he was the one who put it
He's
together.
a fucking architect, dude. He's a sneaky
He's a
motherfucker.
fucking
huh?
weasel, dude. I
He
was
won't come on the
pissed.
podcast. I'm fucking so
He's a
mad.
fucking
at him, dude.
bitch,
Tell him
dude.
he's got to come on,
He's a
dude.
fucking bitch, dude.
You hear that, Matt?
Yeah, and he can, dude. We can square up if he wants to.
I'm not. yeah.
Anytime, any place.
He's doing
Not
Muay
here.
Thai now. He's a problem now.
What's that?
He does Muay Thai now. It's a
I don't give a
fucking
shit,
problem.
dude. Because if you check this out, every fight I've ever been in, I've never really started a fight.
Right. Yeah.
If you're right, you win.
yeah.
you
Well,
know-
yeah. I mean, I've been wrong and definitely won for sure. You
So
know
have
what I
I.
mean?
But usually, if you're right,
Yeah.
you win. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I ran into him in the cross path of picking up kids from Cabrillo.
Yeah.
And I was all, what the fuck happened to you? He's like, dude, I'm doing Muay Thai. And I was like, what? And I'm doing Muay Thai too. You know what I mean?
Sick.
And he's like, I just got my ass beat. I'm like, what are you, like, of all the humans, like, I'm such a meathead, like, it
Yeah.
would make sense for me to be, but him, you're like, what are you doing, dude? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, well, good for you, man.
You know what
I
he's
mean,
doing?
It's amazing.
He's
Yeah.
dealing with his sobriety.
There you go. Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, if I was to go dead sober, like we're talking like straight edge,
yeah.
dude, I'd be into
violence.
doing some shit to get my ass kicked too. That's why I skate every day.
Right.
You know, because I mean, even today before I came here, I went to the Carpinteria skate park, did a little line, popped out of some, ate shit.
Yeah.
But the cool
Oh,
thing
it
is that
hurts.
like it's like, oh yeah, cool, I got that.
How
you
bad
know?
does it hurt now, dude?
It
fucking
doesn't hurt that bad
Not-
because I've been doing it since
okay.
1984.
I get cocky every once in a while and I start skating around and then I'm like, I could do a kickflip. And then it's fucking death. Like, and
Death.
I hit the
Words
ground
you'll
and
never
like,
hear come
I'm
out of my
done,
mouth.
Dude, yeah,
Dude, you can get bodied fucking
God,
do
it
it.
is so hot, Kenny. Can we open that fucking slider for a second? I'm dying in here.
Yeah, I'll
dude.
get that
tequila.
AC.
Yeah.
I got two
feel
of them
that.
outside
Yeah.
of it.
It's
Yeah,
getting
so,
toasty. Just a little crack, dude, would be amazing.
So to continue, dude, the
Oh, God.
this is a fun
thank
little
you.
Matt story. I'm happy to put his ass on blast.
No, I love it. Look, man, I'm in dad brains with him. I love
Yeah.
the dude to death. I respect the living shit out of him because I was the younger generation.
I
like,
knew that
from
dude when
him.
he was that fucking big.
Yeah,
and then when he turned
you know.
19, he was taller than everybody. I was like, what the fuck
But
happened to you?
I'm a couple years younger than them. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's
so
right.
it's like
So you're like a kid.
when I just like for record, like if you would have ever asked me if I'd be in a band with the singer for Missing 23rd,
Right, you're like,
like
no
for the
way.
rap, and he's playing drums, I'm like, it would have never in a million years guessed that, right? Because
That's
I
what's-
looked up to those guys so much.
That's what's so cool.
And then
about
when I
it.
started working at
Aging.
Salzer's, like we started fucking around. We all lived in Montalvo. Were you around
Yeah.
in the Montalvo days? Did you fuck around? over there?
I knew about those days.
It was wild.
But there was a few late nights where I passed through there.
Yeah.
And it's usually like I was probably blacked out.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
on unmentionables, like, oh,
Right.
cool.
yeah, totally.
So the guy just gets stabbed right over there at 7-Eleven. Let's go over here.
100%.
Yeah, no, I know that zone all too well.
yeah, I mean that's where I grew up. So it was like that was my neighborhood. Right?
Rad. Montalvo is still one of the fucking toughest parts of Ventura nowadays,
And yeah,
dude.
well, dude, they had like one of the original gangs in Ventura, the Montalvo Boys.
yeah.
Back in like the fucking 50s and 60s.
Yeah,
and shit,
I just
dude.
know
It's
that like
crazy.
that little zone is rough. Always has been. Like when I
Yeah.
was an Avenue kid, they'd be like, "Oh, you guys are fucking. There's nothing to do on the Avenue. Go over there and go fuck around."
Right.
And for those guys that were telling us to do it, they're like, "Let's see what they're made of."
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go
Let's
figure
go
it
over there,
out.
fucking get
Yeah.
jumped by some
Yeah.
dudes, run, try not to get
And
stabbed.
when you realize that the actual ghetto is 3 cul-de-sacs.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
And those motherfuckers are defending that territory with
Dude.
their lives, dude. It was ridiculous.
It's their Ukraine, dude. It's their Ukraine. Fuck, man.
yeah.
Yeah, so I call fucking little Matt. I'm like, hey, dude, what the fuck, dude? Like, hey, bro, like, why are you booking shows? Why are you booking shows behind my back? And this is his words verbatim. He goes, I'm your new manager, and you're gonna do as you're fucking told.
Nice, dude.
I fucking love you, dude.
I love you so
fucking
much.
love you. Okay, what's the deal, you fuck?
Yeah.
And then, so that got put together,
Yeah.
and he was like, yeah, dude, I want to. He told me the story. He's like, dude, missing 23rd. The year is 2023, 23rd day.
Right.
Da, 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 da. And this is where he sold me because I was still pissed off the whole conversation.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck, man? And he's like, dude, listen, dude. He's like, you're the most punk. He's like, I was thinking about it. He's like, you're the most punk rock fucking band in Ventura. And I was like, dude, you're the most. I'm on the phone like, you're the most punk rock band in Ventura. He's like, no, we're not, dude. He's like, it's you, bro. He's like,
Yeah.
you have to fucking
there's an
show
argument.
up.
There's an argument, yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
There's an argument for sure that you guys were the most punk rock band in Ventura.
I'm not going to say we're the most punk rock band in Ventura.
I'll say it.
I'm not going to say that ever.
Right.
Because I don't believe that, dude. Because I used to go to Missing 23rd shows.
Right, yeah.
And, all this other stuff. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, but
we're
like
just some dudes that got fucked up and made some music is how
sure.
I see it.
Yeah, but Miss M23 had a message, and they were fucking about all this like shit.
Yeah,
and they covered the punk
yeah.
rock spectrum. You guys were true wild punk rock.
Show up and turn it
Wild
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? Like you never knew what was gonna be going on at a fucking Shim Come Quick show. Besides that, you were gonna be ducking for your life or having a great time. One of the two. It was like you were either gonna be in a bar fight or that Phil started probably.
Yeah, or meet your wife.
Or-
like there's some
or
rich,
meet your
there's
wife.
some,
Yeah,
there's
or
some
meet
rich
your
dude in
significant
Pierpont
other.
who fucking took his chick on a first date to a Shim show at that place. It was called Bubba's. It was called Jaws. Yeah, and yeah, it's all good. And that show was kind of gnarly because some skaters were there, and like the Shim show started, and fucking shout out to the homie, old school skater, Pee Wee. Jumped on the bar, ripped the surfboard off the wall, it's fucking aired into the crowd. Next thing you know, chicks are running, trying to fucking ride the surfboard. One chick broke her ankle. But this dude,
That's amazing.
who's like some rich Pierpont dude, brought his chick there, and then boom, they got
married.
They're married now.
Yeah.
So
They probably walked down the aisle to a Shim Come Quick song.
that would be beautiful. But I'm not sure his parents would let him. You know what I mean?
probably not.
Because when you come from that, you gotta play the role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you guys were going, did you guys ever tour? Did you ever get out on the road? Did you do anything?
So funny story.
I'm sure there's some. I'm sure there's some out of town gigs that were pretty fucking nuts.
We only had fucking
Like a couple of them or
one.
something. Really?
There was this dude, Timmy the Turtle.
Oh yeah.
Grim. He got us to Vegas to play a couple shows.
Oh, for punk rock bowling, or just
No,
in Vegas
just
in general?
in general,
Oh,
because
okay.
he was doing Jackass,
Oh, okay.
and he got us to the fucking Double Down in Vegas,
Oh, nice.
which is
Yeah,
probably
Double
one
Down
of my
rules.
personal favorite shows.
It's awesome, yeah.
One of my personal favorite shows I played because I talked shit to the crowd out of town. It was fucking rad to me.
Totally, dude.
But yeah, and then we played the show the next day, which was fucking bullshit at like some like abandoned Caros, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. We were at that age that was like, either get in the van or keep your day job.
Right. Yeah.
So we didn't do many out of town shows. We did do what we called a in town tour.
Oh, you
Joey's
did?
mom had a fucking RV,
Okay.
so I think we were playing 3 shows in 1 week, like one at the Sewer, one at Cafe Voltaire, and one at the Drink.
Yeah.
So we brought the RV and just fucking
partied
did
in
what
front
we
of
did
it.
in there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that was about it. There was nothing. Not too many out of town shows. It was really funny because like Shim's so Ventura. It's like, could Shim really work out of town?
Well, that's the thing.
There might be a lot of violence, dude. You know
Yeah,
what I
there
mean?
could
Because
be,
I talk a lot of shit.
That's true.
And if the wrong guy gets pissed off, dude, like, well, I'm win, lose, or draw. I'll take that.
And also, there's no slouches in your band either.
No,
You know what I mean? Like everyone,
no.
like
those
there's
guys.
some-
Those guys will. I mean, Joey.
yeah,
I shouldn't even say this. Joey could probably kick my ass,
he's fucking
but
huge.
I can kick some ass too.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
Shane, Asa, they're mellow,
right,
but they're not afraid to just jump in.
right.
And then Ryan Klein. I mean, he grew up Christian. He's
Right.
got a lot built
He's
up.
angry, dude.
Yes.
He's as angry as I am. That's for sure. Dude. Yeah, he's throwing punches for Jesus. dude.
Yes,
You
he
know what I mean?
is, dude. He's like, fuck you.
And I love that man to death.
He's
dude.
so
Like,
fucking cool, dude.
for what he's gone through and the fucking man he is now is
Yeah,
incredible. you know what I
dude,
mean?
gnarly. Yeah, it's so gnarly, man. Like, fucking dude's a widow, man.
Yeah,
Fucking,
it's wild.
as we,
Raising kids
I'm not
on
trying to
his
bring
own,
up sad
fucking
shit. I mean,
nuts. Yeah.
I celebrate as a positive as I know you and I are on the same level. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, it's fucking gnarly, dude. So,
Yeah. So what ended Shim? Did it burn or did it just kind of fizzle out?
Well, it kind of.
I would like, part of me wants to hope that it, like, there was some wild catalyst. It was like, this
there
is
was
too
no
much.
wild catalyst.
Nothing?
It's one of those things. Like I said, you
Yeah.
got to keep your day job, right?
Right.
At the time, like, I think Joey had bought a house,
Right.
and Mugger took off to the East Coast because there was a variation to Shim because Mugger took off to the East Coast, and then we had to get a new drummer.
Right.
And the kid, Alex, fucking what's the
Why
kid?
am I forgetting who the
kid,
fuck it was
dude.
now?
So another fun fact about Phil. I worked at the Ventura Theater as backdoor security for
Right.
like 8 or 9 years, right?
Right.
And there was this fucking skinny twerp kid that was helping the sound guy. And I just called him the kid. But he and I got along really well. Alex fucking something. I forget what his name is, dude. Ugly motherfucker, dude. But like so ugly that he's cute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
And you want to keep him around. He's so ugly, but
yeah, well, he's a sweetheart, dude. He's a fucking lover. That's what I loved about him. But anyways, working at the Ventura Theater, the fucking drummer had taken off.
Yeah.
And Mugger took off to the East Coast or whatever the fuck he was doing. And Joey and Shane and Nathan still wanted to play. I'm like, oh, dude, I know this kid. He might want to play drums. So I met the kid. I was like, dude, I'm going to give you the CD. Can you tell me if you can play it? Week later, he's like, yeah, I got this. I'm like, oh, sick.
Yeah.
So we actually the Vegas thing we
It was with him.
did with the
Okay.
kid.
All right.
Yeah, I know the kid. The kid filled in. But to answer your question about it all slowing down, it's just the aging process.
Life. Yeah.
Same thing
Life
everybody
slowed
goes
down.
through.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
all of a
Same
sudden-
reason I walked away from the rap.
all of a
Yeah,
sudden you
yeah,
have to
because dude,
move
like the thing
bacon
is
shit.
okay, so for everybody, like okay, you're buying a house, you're getting married, you got a kid, you got the job, you are doing pretty well.
Right.
Yeah.
Why would I go
Yeah.
do all of that when
Right.
I can do this? Because it takes a lot out of you, even when
It
you're
does,
young.
yeah.
You know, you still, I mean, even though you're young, you can go a few days in a row.
Right.
But dude, that third day
Yeah.
is fucking rough, unless you're fucking Mick Jagger or somebody when you got all the fucking fancy shit just pumping through you. You know?
Yeah. I did a lot of touring, and I did none of it on cocaine. I didn't fuck around at all.
Thank
You know what I
God.
mean? Like, and I can't believe I survived it. You know what I mean? Like, it
well,
was
you know,
fucking-
there's something about youth.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I was
Yeah.
that young, you know. But I started.
I didn't
touring
feel
at,
like I was young when I was
17,
20.
though,
I
you
didn't
know?
feel like I was young when I was 24 either.
Yeah.
You know, I got a job in the Forest Service when I was like 23, 24, and the guy was like, "You're a little bit old for this." I was like,
What?
"Shit,
Yeah,
dude! Like, I can kick a lot of ass. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?" But
Yeah.
I started bouncing when I was 23.
yeah,
I started at the Mayfair Theater, which is where I met Little Matt.
that little shit.
Yeah.
He was a fucking
He
shithead
was
back
so
then.
much fun, dude. I
Little guy.
fucking love that dude.
He's a
He
rat.
he always had a smile on his face, and he was always diving in the pit and acting.
Never
he
gave
just-
a fuck.
But he was always cool as hell. He wasn't an asshole. He was always just having fun. You know what I mean? And he might fuck with me a little bit or talk shit, but he also knew if I got my hands on him, he was in trouble. But he was always just a fucking sweetheart. But then too long after that, I ended up working at the Bermuda Triangle, and
Old school.
I'm 23 years old telling dudes like you, nah, man, get the fuck out of here.
You're 47 beat, and back then, dude, that was like,
Yeah.
dude, those guys had knives. Like I remember, like
Right.
what Club Soda as a little
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
The reason the Triangle got shut down was because somebody got stabbed in the back parking lot.
Exactly, dude. Like Ventura was so gnarly when I was a kid because
Yeah.
Main Street used to have these massive trees.
Yeah.
And there'd be
Oh,
like a
yeah.
drunkard would fucking like jump out and stab somebody out of the blue.
Well, and it was a
Oil-
cow town.
It was
a bunch of
a
oil
fucking
field
straight
workers
oil
and-
field
yeah.
biker surfer town.
Yep.
Dude, C Street where everybody surfs. Oh, it's so rad. If you didn't surf
Yeah.
or buy drugs, you couldn't even go down there.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you take your kids to the beach, dude. They're gonna bash your windows in and take all your shit.
Right.
Yep.
Like that's what it was.
Ventura County's good about that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
it was
were.
good.
They were. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
because you got
but
a few
I
years.
still look back now and when I was 23, and I'm like,
I was a kid.
yeah, a kid
Great, making full-grown adult decisions. Dude.
fighting literally full-grown adults.
What was that
Yeah,
fucking?
man.
There was a fucking gang back then that was gnarly. The Warlords.
Oh, yeah.
Those
yeah.
dudes.
Yeah, no,
That was-
really one of them's one of my best friends to this day.
See, that was your era, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, those
yeah.
dudes were gnarly.
Yeah, I came from Oxnard though, so I always
But-
to me this was all a different type of world.
It was, but
a
at the
way
same
different.
time, there was like there's
was-
Oxnard,
there was-
Ventura,
there
but
was-
there's the same amount of dudes.
There was Midtown Warlords,
Excuse me.
and there was another one, Howleys.
Oh yeah. the
Oh
Howleys.
yeah.
Yeah, and they were all, I came from a different gang type of deal.
You're
I
right.
came from like Oxnard Chica's gang.
That's a whole.
So then
dude,
coming
yeah,
over
that's a real
here,
deal.
I was like, these guys are funny, but they were putting in work.
Yeah,
they were all
they were
fighting
doing the
each
work,
other.
dude, yeah.
You
They
know,
were
but
doing
you
it.
knew like everybody when I got here. I remember within probably a month and a half, 2 months, I knew the tough guys.
Exactly.
Everybody told me, don't fuck with Scotty, don't fuck with Mike Berger, don't mess with Jess. Don't I knew everybody kind of
Exactly.
had put out who these guys were. And
Because-
I wasn't scared of nobody, but I knew like if I see this guy coming to me, okay, I know
You just have
I'm
to
gonna
shoot him.
get busy.
You have to shoot him.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
And the thing is
Yeah.
most of those dudes, because like when you're a guy like yourself that can handle himself in all facets, people notice that, and they'll just tell you without you even asking, like, "Oh, that dude's kind of gnarly," and you're like, "How?" You're like, "How gnarly?" And they're like, "I killed a chick last night." You're like, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna make sure that I don't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to talk him down."
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I'm
You
trying
know?
to talk everybody down, but I'm
Well,
also
totally.
going to make sure that you guys are okay.
Right.
That was
Exactly.
my whole thing,
Right.
and that's
Totally.
where I was good at it, was because I don't give a shit. You're not. If you two want to go at it, go around back,
Right.
go at it,
Over
do it
there.
your way.
Yeah.
But you're not going to fuck with that innocent kid sitting in the
No.
corner that can
Right.
barely
Totally.
pick his nose. You know what I mean?
Totally, yeah.
You're not fucking with Matt.
Yeah.
If I see something going on in the pit and Matt's getting pounced on by somebody, I'm going to walk over, throw
Right.
Matt out the pit, and me and somebody else are going to have a problem.
Totally.
You know?
Totally. Yeah. Back to little Matt when he was little.
Yeah. Yeah.
And happy to hear that he's doing Muay Thai, dude.
Yeah,
That's good.
I don't know if he still is. This was months ago, but
It
I'm
don't
sure
matter,
he
dude.
still is.
I hope
don't
he
matter.
is.
It's
dude.
good for him.
No, he's such a great dude, man.
He's a rad dude.
Yeah.
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 He's
Come
the
on the
best
show,
work-
Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shit,
yeah.
fuck face.
He's
Yeah.
flat out refused
Fucking
me
camera,
multiple
fuck
times.
you.
There's quite a few people that have
Yeah,
flat out refused.
we have a
this.
handful of people that are like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this.
Well, guess what, dude? I mean, I'm not a big fucking podcast dude, but like I'm at a point now in my life where I'm like, this is just what it is now.
Well, dude,
So
that's-
either fucking feather it out
yeah,
or just keep it to yourself
It's-
forever.
It's legacy
Right.
shit.
Yeah, that's
Nobody gets to hear. Nobody's. We're not going to be able to hear each other's stories if we don't tell the stories. And normally,
Yeah,
we tell
and then-
the stories sitting around the fire pit with our friends. And
Exactly.
Go, hey, man, you
Yeah.
remember
Remember
when
that?
you fucking
Yeah.
you picked that dude up at school and you threw him in the pig pen?
right.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's good to have people
You
come
know?
tell their versions of the story
Yeah.
because I'll tell you what, everything I'm saying right now,
there's another version.
Joey,
Yeah.
Shane, Asa,
Yeah.
Mugger, Matt, they might be like, dude, fuck you, Phil. That's not how it
That's
happened.
Not
Yeah.
how it happened
So
at
come
all.
over here and tell that shit.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
dude, the way we grew up, it's like, get on camera? Fuck no.
Yeah, I know it's true.
Fuck
yeah,
you. The camera shows up. Did you grab it? You smash it.
Right,
Right.
100%.
I'd have been in
But
prison.
dude, this is straight up. This is the new norm.
Yeah.
So when you guys ask me like, oh hey dude, you want to do it? I'm like, fucking
Yeah.
tell me
Yeah.
when.
The conversation. I love just wanting. I love that Craig's so much better at getting the stories out of people and asking the correct, asking the right stuff, because getting that stuff out is the best. That
Oh, it's so
hearing the
sick.
stories.
Well,
and
it's
hearing
important,
your,
dude, like-
your history.
You're a good human.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like all the crazy shit you've done and all the
Yeah.
crazy shit I've done and Jay's done, everyone's redeemable. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And you wouldn't be on here if you weren't.
Fuck. Okay. All right, dude. Is that okay? All right.
Damn.
Yeah.
Kenny's about to fucking lose
He's
it.
like, come on, you fuckface, get your
that
shit
better?
together.
You just
Yeah, okay.
sent Kenny
Sorry.
back
Yeah.
to PTSD shit.
Sorry, man. I know. All of a sudden, he's fucking.
Kenny goes, get your hand off
Yeah.
the mic.
I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna fucking
kill you
shoot
tonight.
with a rocket
But it's
launcher.
like you're on. There's so many incredible humans that were wild as fuck.
Yeah.
And those stories deserve to be told, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, I've never seen you step out of bounds and be unnecessarily fucking mean or violent or any of that. But you're in for a good time, and if a good time turns into a bad time, you're in for that too.
Yeah,
I love fucking people like that, dude.
Yeah,
Because that's how I grew up.
I was
you know?
raised that way. You
That's
know,
how I was raised.
I got this is just a fun story I like
Let's
to
hear
share
it,
about my
please.
fucking dad. About 7 years ago, I met him in Santa Barbara. He was like, I want to see my sons on Father's Day. So went and had breakfast with him and my brother, Cajun Kitchen downtown Ventura. And then he and I took a
Favorite
train to
spot.
Santa Barbara. And we start drinking beers, we're shooting the shit, we're drinking, and I fucking, I manned up. I was like, hey man, I'm like, what the fuck?
Uh-oh.
You
On Father's
fucking-
Day, you called him
Yeah.
out.
Because we're bullshitting. We're having that father-son conversation, and I'm like, I'm older now. And I think at the time I was like 36. I'm like, hey, bro, what the fuck, growing up, beat up a kid, what's up? His first response is like, you motherfuckers didn't come with instructions. He's like,
Yeah.
I had a baby. I was fucking 25. I was partying. He's like, fuck, bro, your mom was yelling at me all day long. I was like, did what I could. And I doubled down. I just dug in. I go, hey,
Yeah.
bro, come on, beat up a kid. He's like, you seem to have turned out all right.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit.
Fucking got me, dude.
Holy
Son of a bitch.
shit.
Yeah, totally.
Because, dude, the thing is that, like, yeah, it may have been rough during the time, but I'll tell you what, everybody in this room had a tough time from the ages of probably 10 till about 17, dude.
At least, yeah.
That were just fucking rough.
Right.
Where you're trying to figure out who you are,
Yeah.
you're getting into it with your parents, teachers, whatever. Even if you were the good kid,
Right.
and even if you were the fucking nerd,
Yep.
there was some shit that sucked. You couldn't
A
get
lot
that
of it.
You couldn't get that
A lot of
trigonometry.
it.
You couldn't get that trigonometry class, you know, for the smart kid or, you know, for the rich kid. Fuck, I couldn't get
every
into
day
fucking
you
the
walk
bake
out
club.
of your house, you're wondering if you're going to get shot or stabbed.
Yeah,
Every fucking day I
yeah.
walked out of that house, it was
Actually
what
shot
are
or
we
stabbed,
going-
or metaphorically.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Or metaphorically,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
because we
Yeah.
all went through it. Like, you know, I'm dealing with a fucking 13-year-old right now, bro, and I'm like,
Ooh, yeah.
I'm hearing the shit this kid's saying, and I'm like, oh fuck,
I'll tell you,
I was that motherfucker, dude.
Right.
Yeah, I got a bunch of nephews now
Yeah,
that they're all in their 20s now, and they're having kids, and they're doing stuff.
yeah,
And I was hard on them, and I mean hard.
good.
You know, they'd walk by, I'd sock the shit out
Bam!
of them. I would do a lot of things to fuck with them, and they all to this day still call me, hey, Uncle Jay, what's going on, man? I
Right.
love you. How are you doing? Hey, can you tell me how to cook some ribs?
Yes.
You know? Or,
Yes.
okay, hey, you know, Uncle, I'm going to be in town. I just want to see you and spend some time with you. Can we get lunch?
Yeah.
You know, and they're calling me to do this. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
And when you were doing
I was not easy on them, man. I was rough on
well,
those
and it
kids.
wasn't fucking easy for you too, because it's not easy to be mean to a kid. You know
Well,
what I mean?
it wasn't. I
It's
wasn't
easy
being
for
mean.
him.
I was playing. I was
Well,
just.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but
Well,
I
you know,
had
you
my
need-
uncles.
you need the uncle, dude.
Yeah, I
You
had
need
my,
that
my
uncle.
uncles
You
were
need that
that to
father
me.
figure.
Uncle status.
Yeah,
I
my
got you.
dad. My dad never did shit. My dad was always just. He was all good with us. You know what I mean? He just.
Yeah.
He loved us, and you boys do whatever you're gonna do. If you get caught, you didn't do it. No matter what happens, you didn't do it. Don't say anything else other than I didn't do it. That's the shit my dad taught me. My uncles, I had one uncle, Uncle Hezekiah, man. You'd walk by him and he'd smack you across your shins with his cane, or he'd
like
fucking
my cousins,
he'd
dude.
do the Indian burn.
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
classic.
Noogies
Bring that
and-
back.
I know,
Oh,
right?
Bring that
God.
back.
Bring
I
an
just
Indian
thought
Put
burn.
that
about
in the
this one
schools.
yesterday, man. And just remembering how miserable it'd be when they'd fucking just twist you. Oh my God.
It's like
Fucking
the
Indian burn.
move
God
to
damn.
like grab your skin and just yank it apart is like a
Oh.
wild fucking move.
Did you guys ever have? This is one of the ones that he would do that was the worst. It was the absolute worst. He'd get your arm in an Indian arm bar,
Okay.
and he'd pull your arm until you were on the verge of crying, and then he'd go, "Okay, make it sound like a cow.
No,
Make
never-
it
no,
sound like a
never
horse.
me.
Make it sound like a pig.
That's
Make
old-
it sound
that's old
like a
school.
rooster.
Uh-huh.
Make it sound like a giraffe.
No, never had that one.
Do you know what a giraffe sounds like?
We don't. There is no sound.
No idea.
Yeah, exactly.
I cried every fucking time, man. And you know, and he would just. But at the same time,
That's
he
called a
was the
Kimura,
first
by
one
the
that
way.
would hand you the 20.
Yeah.
You know, he's the first one to like, hey man, don't. You know, like also be like, hey man, don't. That's not how you do that.
Yeah.
And then explain like this is what you got to do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Pro uncle life, dude.
Yeah.
Pro uncle
Yeah,
life.
I
it's
wasn't as hard on
important,
those
you
kids
know?
as he was. He was pretty fucking ornery with us. but-
Ruthless.
Well, there's a pile of kids in Ventura like that. I may have been that for them without
Oh,
even knowing
100%.
it. Without even knowing it.
100%.
I mean, dude, there was a fucking badass. Shout out to the Black Hole Skate Shop.
Oh yeah. Black hole
Mike
rules.
opened that up for a good reason, and they did this little.
I know. I keep trying to get Dave on, dude, but I think he's a little
They're not gonna do it,
Yeah,
dude. They're
I
not
know,
gonna do it
I
because
know.
guess what? They're still on that old school Ventura shit. Which,
know.
which
Yeah,
you know
it's
what?
sad.
Guess what, bro? Like this is what it is.
Right.
They're gonna hear this.
Right.
Hey,
But it's just conversations again. It's just we're all just having.
Well, there's a
fun.
whole thing going on with that shit, but
We'll
you know,
talk.
between 5 points and.
oh no,
fucking
well,
the whole thing,
well, let me jump into that really quick.
Okay,
dude.
go
Let me
ahead.
jump into that fucking shit real quick, dude.
Go ahead. Yeah, you'd probably be the best person.
I'm the
to
best
fucking-
person to
yeah,
talk
you
about
would
this
be.
shit, dude.
As a
And
kid that
shout
grew
out,
up in 5
shout out
points.
to fucking Dave.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with Dave for fucking 30 years.
Totally.
Since I was a fucking
100%.
little kid.
For the
Bro-
record, guys, these are skate shops in Ventura. 5 Points is a legendary skate shop. Black Hole is a new fucking gonna be the legendary skate shop
Correct.
in Ventura.
Correct.
So Black Hole is one now.
Right? Is now.
It's
yeah.
not gone.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
5
'cause I
Points
wasn't
is still
sure,
there.
'cause
None
Five
of you-
Points
okay.
has been there forever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna-
I don't
I'm-
even know where Black Hole
This is
at.
getting into deep Ventura
I'm
drama.
gonna
which
clear.
is-
I'm gonna clear
we'll
the
preface
air
this,
right
Yeah.
now on this, dude.
Okay.
So Phil himself. Let's talk about my history. I've been a skater forever. Mm-hmm. My parents worked, but I was always broke.
Right.
I would hang out at 5 Points,
100%.
hoping to get a fucking skate.
Right.
Oh yeah, we got a broken one here.
Here it
Boom.
is. Yeah.
Dave watched me skate all the 30 fucking years.
Right.
So every time I go into 5 Points, it's the skater thing. talk shit to you, rip your heart out, step on it, burn it. Okay, here you go, kid. Keep skating, right? Yeah. So old school skate shop, skateboarding roots, right? So been going to 5 Points forever, dude. And as I got older, I'd be like, dude, I'm gonna go to 5 Points when I got some extra money, buy a bunch of shirts, buy a couple skates. You know, every 3 to 6 months, just go in there, spend all the money I got, just because it's like I love it. Shout out to Frank Atwater,
Right.
Old school ripping skater,
Right.
Dude's a badass, right? So the guy that owns 5 Points, always been cool with him too, right? So all skaters all knew what's up. You can go into 5 Points if you grew up in Ventura over the last fucking 30, 40 years. And those dudes are going to look at you up and down and be like, okay, you're going to need this, you're going to need that. We are skaters. This is that. This is this, right?
Yeah.
So the owner, you know, his son, you know, isn't, you know, as savvy as he is, right? So I run in, my personal experience.
Right.
I run into Frank Atwater randomly. Oh, bro, what's going on? Dude, this, that, and the other. I'm like, when can I come see you? He's like, I don't work for Dope Fiends. I go, what the fuck? Verbatim.
Yeah.
I go, what the fuck? What's going on? He goes, oh, dude. He goes, Brad's kid's in there. And he's the manager now. I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Because Brad's kid's been a fucking shithead since day one.
Right.
It's like the boss's kid syndrome, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever, because he was a kid. Now he's like older, and then he's over there. So 2 years ago, I go into 5 Points. He's there. I'm talking to him, just bullshitting him. I could tell he's not fully on dope, but he's still just a tripped out dude, whatever. I go, I'm going to give him a chance. I'm like, you know, usually what I do is I walk into 5 Points. I set my board on there. I'm out, do this, brand new. So he's like, oh, yeah, I don't have these wheels. I go, hey, what do you think I could ride? You know what I mean? And he's like, oh, yeah, these are pretty rad. And he gives me these fucking, the wheels looked really cool. The logo was rad.
Right.
It was like Dogtown, fucking whatever. I'm like, oh, Dogtown sounds sick, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I go to the skate park. Personally, I skate every fucking day.
Right.
I couldn't get speed on them. I had to force all my tricks. I was like a little mildly depressed. I was like, God, these wheels, dude. I was like, I wanted to go in there and beat the fucking shit out of the dude. I was pissed.
Yeah, it's all the dude.
And dude, I was like, God
like,
damn, this motherfucker just lied to my face. Whatever. You know, I've been burned before.
He sold you something with the best profit margin.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. Which is cool. Whatever.
That's fine.
Hey, bro. Hey, judge how you live, right?
Kind of on you for not knowing, you know. Too,
Yeah.
but,
Because
whatever,
I've been dealing with Dave
Take the blame.
and all the guys that work there. I'm like, oh yeah, it's kind of like this, you know, and they kind of know what's up. So that happened, dude. And I remember I had talked to my little brother. I was like, dude, I'm like, when wheels are trash, I'm fucking tripping. I want to fucking lose my shit, but I don't want to lose my shit because everybody's a cop collar now.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm like, fuck it, dude. So I was right. My brother actually went to 5 Points when Dave was still working there, and I was like, dude, my brother's fucking bumming. Can you give me some wheels? My brother brought him to my house. I was like, thank you, dude.
Yeah.
So then I find out that Mike, a kid who I have a picture of me, Mike, and his little brother Jake when they were like fucking 9.
Yeah.
Right? Like their oldest sister is a good buddy of mine.
Right.
So I've been hanging out with those kids since they were fucking, you know, I'm not going to say I'm responsible for their skating, but definitely in the mix when they were coming up. Right. And Mike opened up that shop. And I was like, oh, dude, there's a new skate shop. And I was like, it's going to be kind of hard to leave 5 Points, dude, because it's like it's a fucking Ventura institution. I'm not ever going to take that away. Like that logo.
Dude,
Yeah.
they've
That
provided
logo,
a
I
service
almost-
for 40 fucking years.
Dude, that logo, I almost want to get tattooed
Right.
just for old school Ventura, right?
Yeah.
So I find out Dave's over there
Right.
at fucking Black Hole. I was like, oh, shit, that's my new shop.
100%.
Fuck 5 Points, dude. But I still went to 5 Points
Right.
and got one last deck and about 4 last shirts just so I can have because I'm not going there ever again.
Right.
Because of that experience that I had. And then there's this kid, I call him Larry's little brother, Justin J-Hop. He was setting me up a new deck, and we were talking, and I was like, yeah, you know, the 5 Points Black Hole shit. I'm like, whatever, dude, I don't give a fuck. I'll still buy a 5 Points windbreaker if I want it, because guess what? To me, that 5 Points logo represents the epitome of fucking old school Ventura, right?
Right.
And J-Hop told me this, dude. He goes, look, dude, he's like, dude, the thing is, he's like, they're not skaters, dude. He's like, Brad's like a snowboard dude, you know what I mean? Like, skating is what made his money, but like, he likes to snowboard, you know, and his kids like fucked off. And I was like, oh shit, epiphany or moment. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's what it is, dude. The dude's not a skater. You know what I mean? And that's the whole jam.
Right.
Now, I just saw some stuff about, Brad's kid that I already knew. But it just got put on blast. And I'll tell you what, dude, to be quite honest with you, Frank Atwater is one of the most solid fucking skaters I've ever met in my fucking entire life.
100%. Yeah.
If he tells me I don't work for dope fiends, that fucking kid's doing dope. He didn't say the kid was doing dope. He didn't say that at all. But if a fucking OG like that tells me that and actually has a fucking Twitch reaction, I'm like, oh shit, that's real.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
So,
Well, and it's a changing the guard. It's the same thing that happens in a lot of businesses that are run by legacy people.
totally.
That fucking the sons
forward to
take
the
over,
kid, yeah.
and they oh, sorry. We good?
Yeah, we're good, dude.
That's what's up, dude.
Yeah.
They take over, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that, it's a reason why the Mongols fucking ruined their empire. By the time the kids took it over, this guy spent 60 years fucking conquering the world. His grandchildren
Genghis
fucking
Khan
ruined it for
Mongols.
everyone.
Let's clarify real quick. Genghis Khan Mongols.
Genghis Khan Mongols. We're not
Yes.
talking about
Yeah.
bikers here.
No,
Make
no,
sure
no,
that's
yeah,
clear,
yeah,
dude.
totally,
Make
yeah.
sure that's clear.
But Genghis Khan.
Craig just got a new motorcycle. I started getting.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Mongol now, bro.
No, don't say that.
I'm going to be repoing that bike here real quick.
We're in.
No,
I'm
yeah,
a Ventura
nothing to do
dude.
with the Mongols.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Genghis Khan, the good,
I'm a
the
Ventura
awesome
dude, and
Mongols.
that's how.
Yeah.
Which, if you're in a biker gang, that's fine.
He's talking about actual history, not
Yeah.
biker history.
But that's the thing. Skateboarding is inherently fucking very territorial.
Yeah.
Always. And it always fucking even when White Sands was open.
Yeah.
There was White Sands people and there was 5 Points people. It was just in the
Exactly.
mall. And I was
Exactly.
always a 5 Points guy.
Yeah.
Until my best friend started working at White Sands. I was like, it was kind of tough, when you could get a deal over there. But what they've done at Black Hole, and especially like the skate jams that they're doing, which
Dude,
they just fucking did a skate jam. They're taking over
Black
Black
Hole?
Black Hole is a skate shop on the avenue.
Jay,
That's run by-
Jay, hear me out. Hear me out. Are you familiar with Sorry Market on the avenue? Taqueria Tepatitlán.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you walk across the street to the old bikini bar,
Right.
you make
Yeah.
a right, you walk a block and a
that's
half.
where you should have
That's
started.
where
Yeah,
Black Hole is.
that's where
Start
Black.
off at Snooki's.
Yeah, it would have been sick if you would have
yeah.
opened it up there. Mike, come on. Hey, Mike, do you hear this? When you get big, dude, open up Snooki's
That's
again.
what's up, dude.
No,
Snooki's
for
skate
skaters.
shop.
Yeah, Snooki's skate shop. That'd be so sick.
Oh my god,
Just for the record, back in the Shim days when Snooki's did close, I had the Snooki's sign in my backyard.
Did you? Nice.
No
Yeah,
way.
when dude, remember, fucking Jesse, redhead.
Oh yeah, Jenny.
Yeah, he lived there, and they
Yeah.
had the Snooki sign. I was
Yep.
like, keep it, bro.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild.
I'd put
man.
that in my bar right now.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. I
I
wonder
wonder where
Yeah.
it is. I don't know.
I would
I'm
put
sure
that
it got
in my
thrown in
bar.
the fucking trash.
I don't know
Been
how
thinking
David
about that
would feel
about
My
it. I'd put that in
my
bar.
dad still to this day in his yard has the Waylon Jennings fucking freeway sign from Bakersfield. Because we used to do freeway work, and they brought that sign down. And he's like, put it in my truck.
Oh, hell
and it's
yeah.
fucking in his fucking yard right
dude.
now.
Shout out to
I
Waylon
know,
Jennings,
dude.
dude.
Dude, seriously, man.
Every time I hit the top of the 33.
Shout out to
when I'm-
stealing signs, dude.
Dude,
That's
shout
like
out
an
to stealing
art that
signs.
does not happen anymore. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe it does, but there's
You
no
know-
good signs anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, you can use them to make skate ramps. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
true.
Yeah.
But yeah, inherent. Like I said, I respect the shit out of Black Hole. The skate jams that they're doing, they're taking over what's called oil piers. They're doing these incredible events. Their bands are playing. They're doing skate.
I got to speak on that,
Fucking
dude.
high end skate demos.
I got to speak. I've got to speak
it.
on that because I found out about it on Thursday or Friday. Some skater dude I know in Santa Barbara
Right.
was like, "Oh, dude, they're doing the junk jam this week." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, I never hear about this shit." And
No, I
Mike's
know.
like one of those dudes like, "Oh yeah, it's tomorrow," you know.
Well, that's how it is because it's old school Ventura style.
So,
dude. Like
I
you
was
have
like-
to kind of know.
So I was
you
like,
know?
"Fuck yeah, dude!" So I was like, I got off at 6, and I was like, "I'm gonna go there and fucking just at least show support or help clean up."
100%.
I get there at like 6:30. All the big shit's winding down.
Right.
But they had one more band playing at Sunset, dude. They had 4 fucking punk bands.
I know.
They had all kinds of, dude, a piece of plywood, turned that into a ramp. They brought his dad's truck out there, made it skatable. And then they had a dude on a fucking stunt bike, like a street bike, who just put on a show. And all the locals were just
Yeah.
doing burnouts, riding wheelies, jumping over shit. I left at dark.
Yeah.
They were still there finishing up, and there was dudes still jumping on bikes,
Yeah,
jumping
it's
over
incredible,
weird
dude.
shit.
And that's
And-
like that is the spirit of Ventura, dude.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
DIY punk rock shit, dude. And I fucking love it, dude.
Best part, dude. I'm like, Mike, dude. I'm like, what's the deal, dude? Cops, this, that. And he's like, dude, CHP pulled up. And I was like, bro, we're just kind of doing this. And he tells me the CHP is like, if no Karens call, we're good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude took off.
Beautiful, man.
But the beauty is that skateboarding Karens are actually a little bit gnarlier than fucking Montecito Karens, because I saw a family that had to be like a grandfather all the way down to the great grandkid in chairs, just getting covered in dust, watching kids skate.
Yeah.
See, that's awesome,
Infants,
Right,
fucking
100%.
12-year-olds, punkers, Hell's Angels, gang members, Mexicans, black, dude,
Anybody,
dreadlock, Rasta, punkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fucking rad.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this is one of the good things about skateboarding getting so popular.
Skateboarding culture is getting
But-
punk rock again, dude.
And I
love
also
it,
think
you
that
know?
it also helps that the cops don't care anymore.
I had a conversation with some dudes my age about that, and what we were talking about was a cop is probably 15 to 20 years younger than me.
Right.
So that
Yeah.
cop,
It's
that's a
very
cop,
likely.
had a skateboard when he was
Right.
a kid.
100%.
That cop listened to Snoop Dogg when he was a kid.
Yep.
That cop probably listened to fucking Megadeth.
NWA, fuck the police.
Right,
for
when
sure.
he was a kid.
You know what I mean?
But the thing is, when you and I were kids, dude, when the three of
Yeah.
us were kids, a cop was like, "You fucking dirty punk,
Don't- I
you
can't-
dirty Led Zeppelin motherfucker!"
Dude,
You know,
I
like
can't
Yeah.
tell you how many times I was batoned by police officers skateboarding. I mean, we used to
understand.
skate Boina,
yeah,
and then at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, we would call the cops on ourselves and then run from them
yeah,
as soon as they got there.
yeah.
And we would get hit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was like, that was a completely different fucking culture back then, dude.
Because
like,
a cop
you know what I
back
mean?
then,
Yeah.
he came of age in like his
in
parents.
the 80s.
No, he came of age in like the 1970s or the 1980s.
Right.
Wait, I think that
Right.
I think as much as people talk about how gnarly today is, it's not nearly as bad as like being a cop in Oxnard in the 70s and
Oh,
80s
dude,
and
yeah.
90s
Fuck that.
was
Nuts,
fucked up.
dude. Yeah.
They were getting shot down.
And
They were
dealing with, there was a few cops that like would throw hands with people, like
Right.
literally
Drop
be
the
like, hey,
badge.
here, let me put my
Fucking let's
belt down,
go,
let's
let's
throw
go,
hands,
dude. Which I love.
rest
I
of
love
the
that
Jeff
shit.
I like
hand.
that too, because it's a respect issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
Because then when he comes over there, he's here to help your mom.
yeah, but they
not
don't
to
get
bust
that.
you.
They're not
Right.
getting that stuff anymore, and they're
No.
not getting the same. They're dealing with more. Oh, we need to hit this dude with Narcon. We can't.
Not only that, they're social fucking workers.
Yeah.
Cops are doing a million
It's a
jobs
full
right now.
fucking scene,
It's
dude.
insane, dude. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Shout
yeah,
out to
skateboarding
do your
culture
job.
is like right now what's happening in Ventura County, especially with Black Hole. I fucking love it, dude. Because I love.
do too.
Like, I don't know if you remember the secret spot shows or like the takeovers that we used
Yeah.
to do back in the day.
Yeah.
Where we would show up at a fucking loading dock in the fucking industrial park off market.
Yeah.
Plug into their building and do a whole entire show.
Yeah.
That was like our fucking lives. Like that's how I cut my teeth playing shows.
Totally.
Was the shows, the generator shows, the fucking sand dune shows. That's like inherently, truly Ventura County punk rock shit.
To the
Like,
core.
yeah,
To
or
the
metal,
fucking core.
whatever it is. Like
Doesn't matter
hardcore
what-
bands are doing
We
it.
just
They're all
want to
doing
play,
it.
and
We
the
want to play.
people in the crowd,
and we're
just wanna
willing to
fucking
steal your
scream.
power to do it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're gonna play till the cops show up. And then most of the time, the cops will watch for a few songs, and if you're good, they'll let you fucking finish the set.
Dude,
You know, and it was beautiful. It was a
Dude, we
beautiful
played a
time.
shit. I lived on San Clemente and like Catalina kind of area in this alley, and we played a Shim show in the garage one time. The cops showed up, and they were like, "Look, dude,
It's pretty tight.
you got till fucking 9:45."
Yeah,
and they
totally.
just sat there and talked to chicks.
Yeah.
Because
Totally,
we were
man.
young back then. All
It
the
was
chicks were hot
so
back
much
then.
fun back then. But I love to see that it's coming back,
Yeah.
especially with like the junk jams and the shit that's going on. Because I was at the first one that they did, and it was like I showed up, dude, and there was hundreds of people there,
so sick.
and the cops showed up, and they're like, "It's too many people to deal with." Like,
Oh, yeah.
like everyone's
riot
cool,
status.
like no drama, and everyone's like, "No drama."
Well, the beauty
all
is
good.
it-
There's
it-
bands playing.
that's why I
we
wanted
take
to
over
mention-
the Oil Pierce parking lot.
It goes from
That's where they take over.
It goes
You know
from
what I mean?
grandfather down to infant.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
every cop's got a family.
100%.
Every cop's got a grandfather. Every
Right.
cop's got a mom. Every cop's got a dad. Every cop, well, not every cop, but most cops have kids. So if you see a pile of moms and kids, are you really gonna roll them up and give them tickets?
Totally, dude, yeah.
And they've probably skated, and they've probably
Yeah.
listened to the music
At this point,
and
At this
For
point,
sure.
you
in
know,
time.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's when you get pulled over by a motorcycle cop, or you get pulled
Yeah,
over by,
you're just in
and you're
trouble.
like, I'm on my bike and I'm sitting there and I'm just like,
Yeah.
So what kind of Harley do you own? Oh, I got a Dyna.
Yeah,
You know, all right, cool.
Dude, I was
totally.
just to touch on the biker thing really quick. I was coming back from LAX. I always take PCH, and I remember I was coming down right before you come down, before Zuma, the little hill, right past the Point Doom stoplight, and I saw like a fucking FBI car, a fucking sheriff, a highway patrol, a state parks. I was like, what the fuck? As I'm driving by, it's just one random blonde-haired dude on a Harley.
Oh no!
I'm like, damn, dude,
Damn,
they give you
dude.
guys that much shit?
Brutal.
No, he had
Like
something
one
going on.
fucking dude?
Yeah, there was something about him.
Possibly.
Yeah, there was something there.
Yeah.
He was with somebody for sure.
Oh man, I'm
Yeah.
just like, damn, you got to roll that much out for one dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's
You know,
a weird culture now. but-
Who's that dude connected to? Is what it comes down to.
That's the bottom line.
You know,
yeah.
I get pulled over in Ventura, and it's been a long time, but I've been pulled over in Ventura, and I'd cut the license plate off of my bike.
Yeah.
Not this one, my other one, a different one I had. And I cut the license plate off, just all partying, fucked up, and I didn't like the way it looked, so
Yeah.
I just took a Sawzall and cut it off.
Zap.
And then didn't think about it.
Right.
Like I need to now mount it someplace else.
Yeah.
And I had 18-inch apes and all this shit on there, and I got pulled over at Seaward and
I'm surprised
Thompson.
you pulled over.
No, I don't run.
No, you don't run?
No, not
Dude.
anymore. I did when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
I was a kid.
That's kid shit,
Knockstar.
yeah.
But
Kids,
Your
you
bike
yeah.
now, though, that motherfucker,
You
you
can-
I
can get away,
him.
dude.
I-
You
no,
can get
you
away
can't because
quick.
It's too fucking loud.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story about that one later too.
Yeah.
But so I pull over immediately, and I'm sitting there, and they walk up, and I go, okay, I'm going to take my hands off my handlebars, and I always keep my paperwork right in my pocket so that there's
Smooth
no
move.
figging around, and I
Yeah.
just reach into my pocket, I hand them my paperwork, and I go, hey, before we have any conversations about anything, take my information, go back there and run my name and figure out who I am before we talk.
Yeah.
Good.
And
Yeah,
and then put my hands back up on the handlebars.
And just hold.
And then he came back up and he's like, okay, where's your license plate? And he was just completely cool because I have no affiliation with anybody.
Exactly.
Right.
Dude.
So, but if they run your name and they're like, hey, you're hanging out with this dude
This
and this
dude.
dude and that dude.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he started giving me shit about my handlebars being high and being too high because they were pretty high. And I went, hey, man, you're a cop. Learn the laws. They changed it last year. Like, figure this shit out, man. Let me go.
Bam.
They didn't write me up. They didn't no ticket, no nothing.
Yeah.
Get a fucking license plate on there. And
Yeah.
I went home and okey-doked it. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
just affiliation, man.
Yeah,
That's that
true
dude.
story.
That dude's connected to somebody that he shouldn't be. You know,
Yeah.
and we all know how that goes.
Yes, we do.
You know, Craig. Every time Craig gets pulled over, they're like, "Man, when are you gonna fix these fucking highways?" So I
I know,
fucking
right?
sitting
Yeah.
in traffic.
Which like
asshole.
I did a lot of the freeway work in Carpinteria before that. The granite's in there now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I rebuilt like from Baylord to fucking Linden.
Oh,
That
I
was
remember
all
that.
Me.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah,
that
so-
phase.
Yeah. But yeah,
That's where I
it's-
grew up. Legoland, right off of
I know,
Baylor.
dude. I love Carp. I remember looking
Carp
like
is so crazy.
it's
underground
a
crazy.
trippy little fucking place.
Carp's
Dude.
Carp is like a fucking Carp is like
It's
if,
a weird little oasis.
check-
Carp's
check-
like Oakview back in the day.
Carp's like this, dude.
Little bit,
if Santa Barbara,
Fuck.
Ventura,
Yeah.
and La Conchita had a threesome,
Right.
That's Carp.
Yeah, totally.
because
Totally true,
Carp
man.
is hoity-toity on the edges, but gutter as fuck. if
Gutter
you're
as
there.
fuck.
Because,
Yeah.
dude, like you piss off a Carp, dude, there's gonna be like fucking
Dude, so I have
Rich
I
people
have a
that
story.
wanna
There
shoot
was
you
a
down.
couple of brothers up in Carp, and I really, for the fucking life of me, wish I could remember their names. They were a couple of the gnarliest, and their dad was like, I'm like, hey,
probably
man, what's
Phil.
going on? And his
Phil,
dad's
his
like,
brother.
no, my dad just went back to prison again, and the
Yeah.
sheriffs are at the house, and
Right.
but they both were like pretty looking dudes. They were both
Yeah.
good looking, pretty looking dudes. But they were gnarly, man.
Gnarly.
They were no joke,
Dude.
You know, just always
they've,
fighting,
they've,
always
they've
in
gutted
trouble.
more than a pig. you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's trippy, dude, because I had laborers that were like affiliated gang members.
Yeah.
And we'd be working on the fucking road, and then Carp dudes would roll up on them. And I'm like, now I have a sledgehammer in my hand and then like a chainsaw in the other one. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I was like, how are you this mad at in Carpinteria, dude? Like, because first of all, I did freeway work for my whole career as a construction worker.
Totally.
And I have had shit thrown at me. People say the most horrendous, because I'm fucking up the freeway. I totally understand what it is.
Yeah, you get it.
When I worked in Carpinteria, I had fucking people that were like dropping off cookies to us. And it was the nicest people I've ever worked around. I mean, I'm fucking demolishing their roads. And they're like, you guys are doing such a good job. Here's cookies. And I'm like, bitch, they're poison. Like, they're like,
Totally.
You're out of your mind. And they
You're
weren't. And
giving
it was
it
the
to that day
nicest
laborer.
town I've ever worked in my entire life. But then there was like this weird, like the trailer park, right?
Yeah.
That's over there.
Yeah.
Like, I had friends like laborers that were like gang affiliated motherfuckers. All of a sudden, I'm working in a cul-de-sac, and then fucking a car full of kids roll up and they jump out, and I'm like, dude, we can't do this. Like, what is happening here? Like, how are you this mad in Carpinteria? Like, you live in paradise. Like, what's happening here? But there is a little section that they don't play. You know what I mean? Like, it
doesn't matter.
It was ridiculous.
12 and 13-year-old.
There's
kids
always
just coming
there's
up on
always going to be
testosterone.
that corner in every neighborhood.
Every neighborhood.
Yeah.
Every neighborhood,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
It's
But
such a
Carp
trip.
is such a cool little spot because it's, for those of you who don't know, it's right between where we are and Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
It's like perfect, exactly in the
One
middle,
of my
you know what
favorite
I mean?
towns in Ventura County.
Dude,
I love
the
Carp.
spot?
Carp's,
I've gone to
Carp's
Carp
Santa
so
Barbara
much.
The
County.
spot, dude?
Yeah, well, okay, yeah.
But close to the, yeah.
Around here, period. This
Totally.
area. I love Carp. I go to Carp all the time.
Yeah.
I still, because I'd love to go up a ride up around the lake.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And now I stop
The
at
150.
Teddy's, or I'll go down to the spot, or
Dude, you hit the
Yeah.
palms. You know what I mean?
Back
Roll
when the
around
palms-
state. Is it done?
Yeah,
Palms
yeah.
is
really?
done. It's so
Oh,
sad.
No.
Something
Yeah,
else. will
but the
pop up.
spot's still ripping, dude.
Oh, the spot's awesome.
The
Yeah,
spot's
Spot's
cash.
good.
So it's a tiny little burger stand. It's like their version of the Top Hat, which is
Teddy's,
old school Ventura.
Do you go to
Yeah,
Teddy's?
Teddy's
the
is
spot's
rad.
been there
Teddy's
since
is
way
good.
before I was born.
Yeah.
It's been
It's
going there
incredible,
since
man.
I was a little kid. Yeah,
That's beautiful.
for sure.
So I did want to ask. So you've done all this shit, bands, this and that. Now you're kind of the lord of the Santa Barbara Bull, right? I mean, I'm
I'm
just
not gonna
I'm
say
saying
that.
that. I'll say that.
Black
You don't have to.
Messiah.
Say
I can be the lord of my living room.
right.
Mohawk
But
Jesus.
also, Mohawk Jesus. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
go with that. But now I'm gonna be a random dude at the Santa Barbara Bowl that
Yeah.
like helps out with a bunch of stuff. Like
awesome, man.
I've been doing a lot of that stuff like on the under
Right.
there, just because
Right.
I like to be. I have a hard time being bored.
Right.
So the other guy, the guys I work with,
Yeah.
they're awesome. A lot of them just like to do their own thing.
Yeah.
Because the guy that I'm working for, he can get kind of gnarly.
Yeah.
But he and I are the same age. So I'm like, dude, you don't have to talk to me like that. I'll get another job.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he talked to me sideways about 6 years ago. And I was like,
Right.
look, dude, I'm not going to go there with you, dude. I can just go work at Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
no, bro, this, that, and the other. I go, dude, let me help you alleviate some stress.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, some people are, when work is on, it's work time.
Yeah.
And it's fucking,
Well,
when
the
the
thing
hat
was
comes
is
off, it fucking,
I-
whatever
I-
time, it's free
I
time, right?
was aware of my surroundings. I'm looking at the boys. I'm looking at him. I'm seeing how he's talking to them. I'm seeing how he's talking to me. I'm like, dude, what can I do to calm me down?
Yeah.
He's like, dude, can you do this? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, you got to do
Totally.
it this way. I go, show me how to do it. I'm going to make mistakes, but I'm going to get good
Right.
at it because the thing is, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
So 7 years later,
Now you're going to be
now
a
I can be
full-time
like, all right,
motherfucker.
dude, like,
Calm
we've done
down.
this
Beautiful,
dance.
Yeah.
Let me alleviate some stress. Get
Yeah.
the time with the wife. Get the time with
beautiful.
the kids. Feather the bullshit off to me.
Right.
Because the bowl's outside. Trader Joe's is indoors.
Right.
I love being outside, dude. As you see, if
And
anybody
it's
watches
fun.
anybody watches my Instagram, dude, I go to the skate park almost every morning.
Right.
And that's just is what it is. Like I would rather be outside than indoors.
Right.
Fucked up part is that Trader Joe's pays so fucking good.
I know.
That's a good job.
Bro, if
Yeah.
you can fucking handle it, you can make
Yeah.
$32 an hour for showing up
Right.
and
Bullshit and
Work
just
doing
saying
some work.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you do is say yes. Problem is, I'm an old school guy like you. I'm an old school guy like you.
Mm-hmm.
When you're lying to people constantly, like when I walk in the doors, I have to be like, okay, you have to lie for the next 7 hours.
Right.
And when I walk out the door, I gotta be like,
to
okay, dude,
lie.
get back to yourself.
Yeah. What do
Do
you
I
mean
know what
by
the fuck
lying,
is going
though?
on with the
You have to act
blueberries?
like a
Fuck
normal
no, I
human.
don't.
You have to act like a normal human for 7 hours. Is that what it is?
Oh, no. Yeah, exactly.
pretty
You gotta act
much,
like a
yeah.
normal human.
Because it's like-
I
yeah.
don't
Well, the fucked up
necessarily
part-
know
okay.
that a lot of the people that are going to Trader Joe's are what I would consider are normal.
Well, I'll tell you this, dude.
Yeah.
You know what's funny
Yeah.
about the world in general is that people are getting so fucking weird that I'm starting to feel normal.
Right.
I'm a little bit pissed off,
Yeah.
but then I'm kind of happy
Yeah.
because I'm like, oh wow, this is what normal
We'll
feels
go
like.
shop at Tracy Harris and Oxnard.
Yeah.
That's
Get
what's
you
up.
back to normal, man.
Yeah. Oh well,
yeah.
dude. The thing is back in the day, in the Ventura days, I'd be like, I'm gonna go to Tres Sierras on a Sunday right after church.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's what's up. Dude.
Makeup, heels, asses in jeans.
Come on.
Come on, bro.
They just did communion. They already had their tongue out. dude.
Taqueria
You know what I
Vallarta
mean? Yeah.
on Main Street.
Oh,
it's gone now. It's gone now. They're changing it and redoing it. But
Are they?
that place, they're
Yeah,
gone.
Taco Bell.
Everything's
That
done
place,
now.
when I moved here from Oxnard, that was like
The
Sunday
zone.
afternoon.
Yes.
Everybody would leave the church,
Go
and that
straight
was the
there.
one place that everybody went straight to because it
Yes,
was like the only
right
real
there.
Mexican
Right.
food in Ventura.
At that
and
time,
you would go
yeah.
there, man, and they would be suited up, dude.
Yeah.
Just
And just so
beautiful.
everybody knows, we are just old-fashioned males. Here.
Yes.
You know?
yeah.
Just to put that out there, dude.
Yeah.
Just to put that out
And,
there.
and then our whole conversation this whole time, everything that we've done, everything that we did, all of it is just old-fashioned young men
Being
fucking
fucking
having
psycho.
no idea
From the
how to deal
1900s.
with-
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah.
I'm from the last millennium.
I know
This
my
is how
kids
we
remind
did
me
it.
all the time that I'm from the 1900s.
I'm older
You know
than
what I mean?
Google. Yeah, right.
Hold on,
I am.
what the fuck is that?
That I'm from the 1900s.
What
The
do you
last
mean?
millennium.
We were born
Oh no, I got this. This is a
before
good one,
fucking
Jay.
2000.
You're gonna love this. I was talking to some fucking knucklehead, or some buddy of mine, and we were bullshitting. It's like 8 or 9 years ago, and he's like, "Yeah, kind of around the turn of the century." I was like, "They didn't have all this shit in fucking, 1920."
We're the last generation that grew up without the
1920.
internet, dude.
He goes like this. He goes, "No, dude, 1998." I go, "Turn of the century, 1998." I'm like,
What the
"Motherfucker, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah.
Come on."
That's wild,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
Yeah,
I
we're the
never heard
last
that.
generation. Me and you, like, cause how old are you?
47.
Okay, so I'm 41.
You guys
we're
had
the
internet.
last generations that grew up without the
You
internet.
guys had internet.
Jay,
No,
hold
I
on.
didn't.
internet.
I didn't have the internet till
I was in junior high when internet first. Like,
Yeah, but
when
no
they-
one had that.
All right, so
Oh, no, that's true.
we're,
No
we're,
one
we're,
had-
we're
I
not,
got you, I
we're,
got
we're
you,
not
I
gonna
got you.
we're not gonna go too far into that,
Right.
Because
Well, why? It's a podcast. Let's go. Give a fuck.
Yeah,
We're
but
part of that,
like,
motherfucker.
I didn't have the internet.
okay, I grew up in the time where if I saw you throw a punch, I immediately jump on your team.
Right.
We live in a
Yeah,
time where
okay,
that,
yeah,
we live in
yeah,
a time where that doesn't
doesn't-
happen.
doesn't happen.
You can call it
no.
the internet or not,
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
but
I
we
got
are the
you.
last generation of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but
you
that
can
go-
go-
The
and that goes
difference
back to
now is
just
that
you
you
can
just have
call
to
it-
yell
Yeah.
"World Star"
Yeah.
while you're filming it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like-
So you can call us
I hear
internet
you.
guys, but
I
what
hear
I'm
you.
saying is
Yeah.
this: you can call me the internet,
Uh-huh.
but if
we're Gen
anybody in
Xing.
here takes a
Yeah.
swing at you,
Yeah, it's on.
We're all
I'm
in. It's
fighting
on.
to
We're
the
all
death.
on. It's on.
So what in my head when I hear that is like I literally didn't have internet. Like
Yeah, well,
the-
you're- yeah.
Hold on.
I was saying me and him, not
literally
you. You're-
are sitting there typing in X's and O's to program, and that's what they first
Yeah.
taught me. Like in
so you were ahead of me because I
you
didn't know how to
remember
fucking
the
program.
invention of
well, no,
calculators.
I didn't.
right?
It didn't last but about 15 or 20 minutes, and I got kicked out of that school. So
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
but yeah,
You guys are
Okay.
still sliding
Yeah.
beads across a fucking rail
Yeah.
to count shit.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
yes.
I get it. You know,
Called
yeah.
a syllabus. And,
Yeah.
you know,
It's
called
it's fine.
abacus.
Yeah.
It
actually.
wasn't a
It's called-
syllabus.
Not a
but-
syllabus.
yeah.
It's called
It
abacus.
wasn't a
You don't
syllabus.
need to correct me.
It
on
Syllabus.
ended in it ended in us.
He would have
It ended
never
in
known.
us.
Wasn't
If
a
you guys
syllabus.
hadn't said that, he would
wasn't- I knew it wasn't a
He's
syllabus.
fucking Greek.
Yeah.
All he knows
It's,
is
it's an
fucking
abacus.
no lube.
Abacus. There you go.
Yeah.
I was
Of
in the
course
ballpark
Kenny
with the
knows.
A.
You didn't know.
Of course,
shit.
Kenny knows.
Yeah.
Abacus?
He's out here building
Atticus?
bombs right now, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
But
Cry 2 twos in a bucket. Fuck it. Take it to the stage.
well, dude,
Yeah.
we've been doing this a while, right, Kenny? There you go.
Is it-
where
is
can
it-
anyone buy? What you got? Anything else you want to go for?
It's up to you, man. I'm just here.
Dude, we're happy to have you. But
Nobody can buy a Shim record anywhere right now except for me personally. Like,
There you go.
through
Hit-
fucking
hit 'em
Instagram.
up. There you
I'm
go.
like,
Yeah.
probably deliver it to you because I'm not
Yeah.
gonna fucking waste time.
What's your Instagram?
that's what's up.
Instagram is 666 Philly style.
There you go.
Oh,
You're gonna see
Yeah.
like all my random shit of me skating,
Yeah.
doing shit
Which
like
for
this.
a 47-year-old man, you're fucking killing it, dude.
Well, thanks, dude. I
I
appreciate
swear
that.
to God, because I watch your shit and I get
You're
jealous.
47?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 41. I know.
Wow, you look
We're-
so much better.
Black
than
don't
him
crack,
getting
dude.
older.
Black don't crack.
Mom and
I
dad
know.
got down with
Looks
the
like-
swirl.
I know. Black don't crack,
Permatan.
dude.
Man, I know.
Hey,
He's
blacks hate me,
fucking-
whites hate me. That's why I
Yeah.
got jokes.
That's what's up, dude.
Fucking, I go to the
So
beach.
much
I got
better
pretty
than
eyes and a
I
permatan.
I know.
Craig looks like he's.
But
been
dude, you know what's
ridden.
fucked up?
I've been looking at him
I
through
got
hell.
the white half. Tiny dick, no rhythm.
Oh,
Fucked.
No rhythm.
God damn. that
Fucked over
sucks,
here. I'm like,
bro. yeah.
doing the Elaine over here.
Yep.
You're all green. You're all
Shit. And that's for anybody who knows what Seinfeld is, because now,
Yo.
now that's old.
now.
right?
That's
so good,
Then
though.
they're probably canceled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's so
So
fucking
fact. So,
hilarious.
anyways, but
Yeah.
yeah, 666 Philly style, my Instagram.
what's up, dude.
I don't promote shit. I just
Yeah.
put there because for me, Instagram is like my own personal video of my own life, and I watch that shit all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, it's not cocky, it's not
amazing,
vanity.
man.
I'm like, dude, oh, that's rad. You did that like a year ago.
But I love that you have always been a fucking solid dude. Shim Kim Quick was like such an important band in my life at the time, because I took myself so goddamn seriously with music.
Totally.
Like I could go to your shows and blow off steam and just have a great time, and
That's
I
what it's
fucking
about.
love that, you know. So please, if you want a Shim Come Cook record, it's worth buying. Hit them up. What's the record company that put it out?
It's called Poisonwell Records.
Poisonwell
and actually,
Records,
dude,
right.
try to buy it from those dudes
Yeah.
because they're trying to make some money.
Yeah, they're trying
You
to
know
make
what I
money.
mean?
Yeah.
I feathered
So
that
check
dude
out
a bunch
Poison-
of cash.
yeah.
He did me a solid. And to talk a little bit more shit about Little Matt, he forced them
Yes.
to get my record done by that show, which I was pissed about.
We
But
don't
at the same
believe
time,
anything Matt says until he shows up to the show.
Yeah.
I don't even know
fucking
that guy's real. You
does
know?
he exist?
Yeah.
It's a figment of our imagination.
Is it a
So,
real
yeah.
thing?
But it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, dude.
Oh, bro,
I really
Absolutely,
appreciate
man.
you.
Thank you
We're-
for having
and
me.
You're more than welcome back
And-
anytime
Yeah.
you want.
Just one more thing I gotta
Let's
get out
hear it.
here. Any of you Ventura motherfuckers, I don't know where the camera is.
It's right
Show up.
Right
this
there.
is the new norm. Get on a fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Don't give up too much game. Don't
Yeah.
drop too many names.
Right.
Don't,
That's what's up.
All the names I dropped, they know me.
This
If
is
they-
a
if they
heavy
got an
old school
issue-
If
If they're gonna,
Yeah.
if they got an issue, I'm easy to find.
yeah,
yeah, that's, I
100%.
said the same thing, and I think that's been the problem.
Yeah, I'm easy to find, dude.
Yeah, we have
can-
all of
we
England
can go-
mad at us right now, dude.
We can go to the beach. I'll take the fade, win, lose or draw. Dude.
Yeah, take the
Yeah.
fade,
I'm not
dude.
afraid to
Yeah.
get my ass kicked or kick some ass. It doesn't matter.
Either way, you're
Hey,
gonna give them
man.
a problem.
You guys, if you
Yeah,
can,
there's no
like,
problems, only
subscribe,
solutions.
say what's up.
Yeah.
You know,
Get Heavy
say-
Podcast.
Say,
I
say
did a
something in the
shout out for them
comments.
too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
we
you want
love
to say
you
something,
guys.
Yeah, man. Check out the Patreon. Episodes go up a day early. Check out the merch. Get Heavy Pod Shop. We love you. Thank you so much, my man, for coming on.
West Side till I die, homie.
That's
Don't
what's
get
up.
it twisted.
Bye.